There we go. Let's zoom in here. All right. Good Monday evening, everybody. It's wonderful to see you and be able to talk and converse with you tonight. Welcome to Carnivore Talk. We've got Jeff on screen here with us. We have a nice topic today. We're going to talk about protein versus fiber, and the basis for this.
Yeah, we lost you. Your mic got unplugged. We were pausing for technical difficulties. No, it's still showing off. There you go.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
I'm good now, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, every time I bump this thing, it's sensitive. So let me start over. The inspiration for this theme, protein versus fiber, is every Monday, or even over the weekend. I prep a couple days ahead of time. Sometimes I look for, topics in the news that we can discuss. And so I came across this one article about how certain nutritional experts and even MAHA supportive groups are kind of upset about the idea of giving kids more meat, and they're not being emphasis on fiber. They feel like that they need to be emphasizing fiber more. So, we like to talk about meat, and we also like to talk about fiber, not always in the most positive light. So I thought that'd be a good topic for tonight. And that's something that we're going to get into. And so I'll share the article and summarize it, and we can discuss that in the chat. Or if you would like to join us on screen, that would be even more fun and even more fantastic. So if you haven't done it yet, you should give it a try. If you have a YouTube channel of your own, you can restream it to your channel. And if you have a YouTube channel, you've been thinking about going live, but you haven't quite worked up the nerve yet, this is good practice. So it's just like a Zoom call, and we all get to talk face to face. So I'm going to post the link in the chat. It's pinned on YouTube. You can see it all the time. And but now that I shared it, it'll go over there to the X and the Facebook. Let me mute my phone so that doesn't annoy us anymore. All right. So let's devote some attention here to Jeff. How you doing? How are things down in Texas?
It's chilly, and I wish you Northerners quit sending your weather down here. I'm tired of it. I want it to warm up. Yeah, we had a cold front come through the other day, and I get cold easy. Always have. It ain't since I've been on the diet or anything. I think it's worse since I've been on the diet, just because I've lost so much fat. But yeah, I don't care much for it. I'm still down in my back, although it's getting better. It's much better than what it was. But 2 days ago, Saturday, I had 2 injections of stem cells in my lower back. And so I have to take it really easy for a couple of days. And then I've got 2 more weeks where I have to take it real easy. I can't be lifting nothing, can't be doing nothing or not much of anything. Just walking around is about all I can do. So we'll see how that works out for me. But so I've been a slug. Don't like it, but I've been a slug. I'm sitting there watching grass go. The day before I got the stem cell therapy, I did mow a bunch of grass, but I still got a bunch more to mow. And I'm hesitant to teach my wife how to use the zero turn, because as soon as she learns how much fun that thing is to drive, I'm afraid I'll lose it forever. I made the mistake of teaching her how to drive the tractor, and I've lost it forever.
Well, I can understand your frustration. I know you're generally a hardworking man. You like to work, be out there on the farm, and so to be somewhat idle is probably killing you.
Yeah, but I got to get this back better, or I'm not going to be able to do anything for a longer time. So,
yeah,
and I really want this stem cell therapy to work. I'm giving it every option to take hold and work on me. Costs a lot of money, and I don't want to waste it by being foolish.
Yeah. So likewise, we have a cold front up here. We were enjoying some 70, 80-degree days. And then last night we had a freeze warning, and we got another freeze warning tonight. And it is chilly, not brutally cold like it was a couple months ago, but it feels brutally cold after being spoiled with some 80-degree weather. And likewise, we've been getting nothing but rain for weeks. And I finally caught a break Sunday and managed to mow some grass. I couldn't mow it all though, because some of it's still real soggy and slushy. And then this is how my weekend went.
Hey, Rick.
Hey. Rick. Good to see you.
Yep. Just got out of the shower.
All right. Squeaky clean.
Hope so.
All right. So we go over to my uncle's house who had passed away, my dad and I, because his grass is getting out of control too. And we thought we'd see if he'd had a mower in his shed and what kind of condition it's in and everything. So we get over there, but he's got 4 acres. So the house is like 1.5 acres off the street. And then there's another couple acres, and he's got this shed in the back with no road to it. And it's cold and windy. And so my dad's like, "Well, do you think you could just drive me back there?" So I'm like, "Sure, okay." So we drove off the driveway, got about 50 feet past the back of the house, and then I just sunk down a foot, and it was all mud. 4-wheel drive couldn't save me. I ended up having to call a tow company, and they had a sidewinder that was able to tie it around my bumper and slowly reel me back out to the street. And it cost me a lot of money. So and I was stuck there all day waiting for them to show up too. So wait till May to mow. Don't be in a hurry. At least up here where it's wet. So absolutely terrible. How are things going there for you, Rick? I know it never gets cold down there in is it Miami?
Yeah, Miami. Well, normally we'll have a neighborhood get together either here at my friend's place, but it's windy. It's been raining on and off. So that cold front is trying to make it here, but it just can't do it. Our hot air is more powerful than any cold front ever could be. Mm-hmm. So it's in its little battle. Right now it's real windy. It's not raining, but we decided this is not the night for a barbecue. You try to light that up. If it doesn't rain out your fire, it'll blow it out.
Mm-hmm. All right. So since you live in Florida, I kind of got a question for you here. So my brother was entertaining the idea of going to Florida. He was looking at getting a promotion. Their office is relocating down there, and they were even going to pay to have him move down there. But then he kind of did some research and decided that he didn't think he wanted to after all, because one, he'd have to sell this house, buy another house. But from what he gathered down there is because there's no income tax, right?
There's no income tax, no.
Yeah, and so he was told that because of that, like almost everything has a fee. There's toll roads everywhere. You go into every park you want to go to, you got to pay an access fee to get into the park. Mm-hmm. And then you got the obviously the summer heat, and it might be tolerable, doable in the summer, but in the winter, that's when all the snowbirds go down there. And I heard that it gets overly crowded, and then the prices go up because everybody's down there. And the what he might have made extra with the promotion might just have been eaten up by all those extra expenses that comes with living in Florida. So how accurate of a description is that, do you think?
Well, that's pretty accurate, but it gets worse because when you buy your overpriced house, they're going to charge you 2% a year in property tax. So if you pay $400,000 for a shack, they're going to charge you $8,000 a year in property tax. And then you got to pay the insurance, which is another $4,000 to $6,000. So, you're better off staying in a state with an income tax where things are not as expensive, because you can always fudge your income. But let me tell you, Florida is overpopulated. And if you go to Orlando or Miami, you're going to sit in traffic all day. You're going to have to end up riding a bike like I do, or you're going to go crazy. You're going to ruin your car, overheat it. The humidity is unreal. most of the year. I got my air conditioner on now because I was starting to sweat like crazy. And if the AC goes out in your car, that's usually an emergency. You get on the Palmetto Expressway here, it's like a parking lot. It'll take you an hour to go 10 miles when everybody's on the road. And then you'll get in an accident at least twice a year. So your car insurance is going to go way up into the air. And if you have a new car, good luck with that. You'll be paying more than $1,000 a month just for a car payment.
Yeah, I heard that about the insurances too, that the insurances are really ridiculous for both automobiles and homes, so.
It sounds like he's describing Texas. We're the same. We don't have an income tax. And I love, or I hate actually, how Texas loves to brag about how we don't have a state income tax. And people flock here because we don't have a state income tax. Yeah, we do. We have a state income tax. It's in all the fees. Like you go up to Oklahoma just north of us, and it costs, I don't know, $12 a year to register their vehicle. No big deal. They have a state income tax. I go to register my vehicles. It's going to be, I don't know, the wife usually pays for it. She goes down and gets the tags, but, we're probably paying 4, 5, maybe 6 times what Oklahoma pays, and we have emissions that you have to pay for, emission testing that you have to get paid for if you live in certain cities. Now, when I lived in Weatherford, because we had the close proximity to Fort Worth, we had to get emission testing. And because we might go to Fort Worth someday, so we got to cover their emissions. And but now I live down here in Hyco, we don't have that problem down here. So that's one fee I'm avoiding now. And when you go to first register a vehicle, I don't care if you bought it used or new, you're going to pay tax on it. And you're not going to pay what you paid for it. It used to be you could go in there and say, okay, I paid $500 for this car. And you might have got a smoking deal. That car may have been worth, $10,000, but you got a smoking deal from a friend for $500 because it's broke down or whatever. And they're going to charge you for that $10,000. You're going to pay tax on it for that. I got a smoking deal on a Harley one time, and I went to go register it, and they're like, when they told me how much it was going to cost, what my taxes were on it, I said, taxes have already been paid on this bike when it was bought at the dealership. Why do I have to pay taxes on it again? That's absurd. That's a double tax. And why are you charging me so much on top of that? And they say, well, Blue Book on it, and that's their Blue Book, not the real Blue Book. Blue Book on it is this much because it's worth this much. I said, no, that's not what I paid for it. I've got a receipt right here telling what I paid for it. No, don't matter. They was losing revenue because people were lying about what they paid for a vehicle. And so we all have to suffer because of the liars. So, yeah, and it's a lot more than that. Like Rick was saying, it's everything you do. There's going to be some kind of fees, some kind of license, something. So Texas has a state income tax. It's just a hidden tax. It's just not, they're just not honest about it. And it sounds like Florida is the exact same way.
Mm-hmm. The only good thing about Florida is when your vehicles are as old as mine, the tax, you just say what it is. And then on top of that, it's like $20 a year for a registration.
Yeah. The only advantage I get out of all of it is because I got a farm, I'm farm exempt, so my trailers, the registration on my trailers is much less. My property taxes are much less. I have to pay normal taxes on my house, but the rest of my property, I pay a whole lot less. Mm-hmm. I just have to maintain it and keep animals on it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting. So if I buy a car here.
And everything I buy for my farm, anything that's for farm use, I don't pay tax on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have a sales tax here. So if you buy a car, for $1,000 and the sales tax is 8%, you're gonna owe $8 or $80 on that.
Well, that's everywhere. Yeah, we have that. But I don't understand why when you buy one used from an individual, you got to pay tax on it again. That makes absolutely no sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point because I'm a contractor, and so I can operate two ways. I could either elect to become tax exempt. So when I buy my materials, I don't pay tax, but when I provide my service, I have to charge my customer tax. Or I can choose not to charge my customers tax, and then I just pay taxes when I buy materials like anybody else,
And
which is easier, you know.
that's
So
what I do with my business.
yeah.
Everybody, where I buy my leather goods and everything, they say like, what's your tax number? I said, I don't have one. They said, well, you need to get one. You won't pay tax. I said, yeah, well, I'll still have to pay tax. The difference is instead of me paying the tax, my customers will have to pay the tax. And I don't want to do the books on that. I don't want to do the record keeping on it. So I just soon pay the tax and then pass that cost on to my customer when I sell them the product.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So that you would think that the vehicle could follow the same principle. You bought the first person to buy it paid the tax on it. After that, why are we taxing it? You know.
And I'm really surprised that nobody is going before the legislature and griping about this. It's piracy. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Rick. It's all about the buck, the almighty dollar.
I've heard that by the time you get done paying taxes, registrations, and fees, you only actually get to keep about 50% of your wages. So that's what I've heard. You know,
it's less than that here.
All right. Well, let's go say hi to people in the chat.
Yeah.
And see what's going on with them. And we have first in the gate was Linda Flanagan at 727. Hello, everyone, she says. I'm glad to have you here. Uncle Charlie, close runner-up, number 2. There are born in ketosis and are fed standard American diet, sad but true. Talking about children. That's our topic today is children. And yeah, that's true. They are born on an Atkins diet. That is true. Target Prime Rib says hello. We enjoyed a good live on his channel the other day. All right, very good. And we got Rick is in the house. He's dealing with the elements, and he's brave to being on screen. So we're glad to have Rick here today. Brisket Boomers from Maine. And there's Just Jerry. And we have Linda McDaniel. And DS111, the show must go on.
Roger that.
Yep. All right. Sandy Blythe is here. And here's Lions Carnivore podcast. And Jason 916. And Free Thinker. So, all right. Good to see everybody in the chat today. Glad you were all here. Almost all of those were even right before the show started. So very good. If you have an opportunity to click that like button, that would help. That'll push us out more into the algorithms. Right now we got 38 viewers, so we got some room to grow, and that would be great. Let's see here. Here we go. Uncle Charlie says, we don't need fiber. I don't add salt to my food. And so that is true. We do not need fiber. That is absolutely proven. And the irony is the article I'm going to share, and probably about any article you read on fiber, you know what they call it? They call it an essential nutrient. And it's neither. It's not essential, and it's not a nutrient.
Not a nutrient.
And that's interesting that you don't add salt. I know a handful of carnivores now that don't salt their food anymore. So very good.
I know some start out salting, and after a while, once their body gets adjusted, they don't salt near as much. Chafee's one of them. He doesn't salt his. Rick's one of them. I still salt mine just because I like the flavor, and I salt my water at least once or twice a day. Yeah,
I salt my food. If I eat too many meals without salt, then I might experience some cramping at night. So I usually salt my food. That's the only electrolyte that I feel like I need a little bit of and that's probably just related to my kidney issues than anything. All right, Deanna Raw is here. Raw Wisdom Health and Fertility Coaching. Great topic. All right. That must be your business name. Very good. And yeah, I don't take electrolytes or salt, neither does Anthony Chafee. Yep. Yeah, that's true. All right, we got Bacon Runner and Sandy Blythe here. And Charlie says, I used to take iodine because I was listening to Dr. Ken Berry, not no more. Does that mean no more listening to Ken Berry or no more taking iodine?
Okay, and I'd be curious to know why you're not taking iodine anymore. And, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, and he also says, years ago, I didn't take any of that stuff, overrated money scams. So So the iodine, I don't take any iodine either. Never have. You know, every once in a while, if I'm like at a restaurant, you know, you got the iodized salt. That's going to be, and then I eat seafood, so I should be exposed to some iodine that way. I like seafood, and they say that's a good source of iodine, especially the closer you live to a coast.
I'm not a fan of most of the seafood you can buy in the store.
Mm-hmm.
If I eat seafood, I want to go down to the coast and catch it myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't like that store-bought stuff very much. So, and I can't stand. I don't like sardines. I don't, and I won't use iodine salt. So I'm not getting much iodine. So I'll take my own. But I'm taking mine as a cancer protocol. You know,
Mm-hmm.
according to Dr. Seafried. I'm following his advice.
Yeah. All right. Oh, let's see here. Jiffy Strange Animal says, "Good to catch alive. YouTube is not notifying me of your lives." So I'm not sure how that works, but I know a lot of, you know, they always tell you to tell your users to, you know, subscribe, hit that like button, and click that bell. The bell is supposed to notify you. Now, I don't know if that notifies you for everything, lives and new like standalone talking head videos, or if it just notifies you of talking head videos. I'm not sure, but I think it's supposed to notify you of everything. Or if you click the bell, maybe there's an adjustment. Then maybe there's fine tuning there.
I want to know what kind of strange animal you are. I like animals.
So make sure you've subscribed and you've checked that bell so you get notified. All right. We make new stem cells by fasting. Yes, I've heard that too.
This is true.
All right. And
the problem, the deal with that though, let me speak on that for just a moment, because I'm newly, slightly, almost educated about it. You make new stem cells, but your stem cells that you have in your body are the same age as you are. They're not young stem cells. And so they can extract your own stem cells from your body, spin them down, inject them back into you, but they're still your own stem cells. They're still old stem cells. What I got was stem cells that are young, brand new from the umbilical cord. And these are the youngest and the strongest that you can get. And so supposedly they're much better than what you can produce yourself. We'll see.
all right, that's interesting. I don't know too much about stem cells.
Yeah, I've been studying this for quite some time, and I finally got in a position where I could afford it, and my back is just in such bad shape. I got to do something.
There are some.
I may have other sites injected, you know, but it'll take months to know, you know, because it's something that has to grow and progress within you. But I've personally talked to people that had this procedure done, and they saw just wonderful benefits from it. And there's a couple lives just down the road and a couple miles from me that I met them, and they'd had it done, and they'd gone to Panama and had it done before it was legal in the U.S. And now that it's legal in the U.S., she's going to have it done again because it helped her out so much the last time. And then her husband's also going to have he's going to have his hands injected because he's got arthritis so bad. So, you know, when you get to meet somebody that's actually benefited from it, it really helps boost your confidence.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's encouraging. Good to hear. Gives you a lot of hope.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. When it comes to stem cells, I was thinking there's a couple of YouTubers in our community that sell this seaweed pill supplement that's supposed to release stem cells, but I'm not sure if I'm
once again your own stem cells. So
yeah,
they're as old as you are.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if I'm a believer in that, you know. So I've heard the fasting thing, and then, you know, I just, you know, when it comes to supplements, I'm a little cautious. You know, I think most supplements just supplement the parent company's wallets. That's what they supplement. Lions Danivore Podcasts asks this question: will there be a time when the IRS be abolished? I think it may happen very soon. I doubt it. That's not, I
Yeah.
don't think so.
No, not maybe in the present form that it is. It might change, but will it be abolished? Never.
The IRS is necessary as long as a central bank, the Federal Reserve, exists. Only if you get rid of the Federal Reserve can you get rid of the IRS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the thing with the IRS, there's just so many people out there working for it. You know, they're not. The politicians are going to fight for those people to keep their jobs, and it's the reason why it won't be reformed like it should be is because too many of them politicians are going to lose money, and it's what it boils down to. It's always about the money, you know, because I love how these they get in there and not to get too political, but I love how they get in there and they gripe about the greed of the millionaires and this, that, and the other thing. When you look at their bank accounts, yeah, they're millionaires too. What are they griping about? You know, only they made their money by cheating the system, whereas the other millionaires got their money by working hard. You know, and yeah, as long as it's a money issue, they ain't gonna get rid of it. Not in my opinion.
Yep. Greed, the almighty dollar, and power. Those are the things that, you know, stop anything from ever self-correcting. Everything's corrupt. Yeah. You know, there's always corruption for those reasons.
You know, a government has to have taxes to run. Yeah, it has to have money to run. The only way you can get is taxes, but it doesn't need to be the tax system we have now. There is a fair tax system. Pardon?
They also get it from inflation.
Well, true. But it doesn't have to be the way it is. It can be reformed to where they would actually get more money if they would quit scamming, letting all the scams take place and just spend it where it needs to be spent and nowhere else. You know, get rid of all these programs.
But you got to remember, these scams are how their donors get back. It's very difficult. See, they can't take a cash bribe. They'll get put in jail. But what they can do, they can give them insider information for the stock and bond market. And then they can also have their contractor friends get the contracts. They overcharge, and then they skim from that. Remember, every one of these parasites has to take more than they give. Otherwise, they won't be able to get rich from doing nothing.
I can believe it. Anyways. We got political. Let's get off of it. I can talk about this stuff all night long.
Yeah, there's I'm no fan of the tax system, but, you know, I don't have any ideas or means of correcting it either. So my only comment would be that I think it should be like a percentage that applies to everybody, no matter what your income is.
That's the proper reform.
Right. You know, there's no reason why anybody should, get off with scot-free, and then other people have to pay extra. You know, it should just be the same rate for everybody. So,
well, there is a way to do it, but they won't do it. All they would have to do, instead of having people pay taxes, require them to buy the government bonds, and then have all the government programs transparent, so they know exactly where the bonds are going. So instead of paying to the IRS, you would be income-based. You'd have to buy the bonds, and the best thing is the bonds will pay you back over time. So the system is unnecessary. There's another way to do it.
There is. There absolutely is.
Kelly, how's things going on in Missouri?
Pretty well. I must have got into a middle of a politic
you did
stuff, and I'm just going to keep my mouth shut because I don't want to get started on it.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of politics. I don't like to discuss it. So. But someone asked the question: will there be a time when the IRS will be abolished? And so
and then the two political guys got on the soapbox and took off.
Well, we address every question, so it was fair, and that was an interesting one because I think it's very unlikely. So,
well, this is my opinion: is say if they do abolish the IRS and we switch parties in the next 4 years or the next 8 years, is it going to come back? My opinion is you might as well just leave it be. And I agree. There's other ways around besides this the income tax, because I don't why are we have to pay taxes on what we make instead of paying on fair tax? Because yes, technically we are the people of the government, and we are the boss of the politicians, but the politicians get in there and they think they run the country.
So you made a good point. You said that a bunch of changes could take place today, and then come the next election, the pendulum swings the other way, and someone gets in office and undoes all those changes and puts things back. And then 4 years later, it happens again. The pendulum swings the other way, and so that's why nothing, despite individuals' noble intentions, individuals on both sides, nothing gets accomplished, in the long run. And it's not unique to the United States. It's every country in the world. I mean, mankind is just, they're all subject to greed and imperfection. So, we as individuals just make the best of our circumstances as we can. I just say, worry about your family and your friends locally, and don't worry about the big picture. That'll stress you out. So
now the only problems I have is this nonsense spending on studies that makes no sense, to that we're paying studies for transgender identity or transgender alignment in other countries. I get mad when we have to pay that, but when the government shuts down, you got people, they're not getting paid, but they have to work, but yet we're paying for nonsense junk out there, that needless spending. That's where I have the problem. Other than that, I don't have a problem if we continue paying the IRS, because some way the government's going to have to run on money somehow, and it's either a fair tax, tariffs, income tax, something. It's just, I believe that it needs to be fair across the board, and not, this person gets scot-free, but this person over here has to pay a gob of taxes.
But they don't need taxes. They can create all the money they want through the bond market. The whole tax thing is a scam. It's all about control. That's all it is. They want control, because then you can punish people selectively. You can give breaks to your friends and then go after your enemies. That's the only thing it's about. There's no need for a tax, period. As long as you have a debt-based monetary fiat system that we have, taxes are unnecessary.
Totally agree.
All right. Cranky Carnivore Cutler from Arizona is in the house. Glad to see you here. And we have Lexus Jones. It's been a few weeks. Hi, guys. After binge eating for so long and gaining weight 1 month ago, I ended up having an episode and stayed at the hospital for over a week. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm doing sort of okay now. Hope to feel better soon. Well, we certainly hope that you feel better soon, too. All right. So I'm glad you're doing sort of okay, and we hope that you continue on the path to recovery there. So Cranky says he eats fiber nearly every day. Muscle fibers.
Good one.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Yeah. Sandy says, Lexi, we've been missing you. And yeah, it's good to have you back. All right. Lions Danivore podcast. I love my salt. It is my electrolyte source unless I head to the beach and hang in the water. I feel my body absorbs all the essential salt minerals that my body needs. Okay. So that would mean that if you go to the beach and hang out in the water, then you don't need salt because you're absorbing it. Is that what I'm getting? Just like you might soak in a bath with magnesium or something, or magnesium creams. Yeah. Very good.
Well, you do absorb anything that touches your skin, you absorb it.
Yeah. Sandy got the notification, and there's a little bell there. Very nice.
Ding.
Yeah. Here's a question. The psychiatrist at the hospital took me off of high doses of several medications without tapering, so now I am going through pretty bad withdrawal. Any tips? Well, so I don't know which medications the psychiatrist. Hopefully, they knew what they were doing, and the tips is, hang in there. That's unfortunately what it boils down to in the most simplistic form. I don't know what withdrawals you're specifically dealing with, but I would think, I know you talk about, psychiatrists. So, if things are bothering you as far as like negative thinking or depression, try and come up with forms of distraction, So if you get into yourself a mental state where you're wallowing and you need to kind of get your mind off that, find something to focus on. So whether you read books, play games, socialize with others, but try and, I think it's a bad idea to isolate yourself and be alone, especially, if you're coming off of psychiatric meds. So that would be my advice: is stick around other people and keep your mind busy, keep yourself distracted, and that way you can try not to think about these withdrawal symptoms so much until they subside. So, all righty. Jiffy is a very strange animal, carnivore, 11 years and still thriving.
Good deal.
Hey, good job. Yeah, that's good. All right. The guy that has arthritis in his hand, is he pure carnivore?
No, he said that. Yeah, and I talked to his wife about carnivore, and she was polite. We'll just leave it at that. She was polite, but yeah, it's people just aren't receptive to hearing that.
Tom says that he has to get up early for work tomorrow, and he's interviewing for a new roommate.
Good luck.
All right. Yeah, I hope he's sane and a good candidate. Hope he's a good candidate. So best of luck to you. Very good. All right. The Kingdom Way is here. I love that username, by the way. It's from Niagara, Ontario, Canada. All right. Let's see here. I just got Pookie-roo. I suppose the answer is protein. So, okay, so this goes to our topic today. Let's go ahead and address that topic. Here is an article. Let me see if I can't put this on the screen here. Let me separate out this window. And this is what inspired this topic here. Share screen. And this is from something called Chalkbeat. So I actually found it on a news website. So MAHA, Make America Healthy Again, and school nutrition experts have a message for Trump: don't put kids on the carnivore diet. So this stretches back over March and April here. And let me put the link in case you want to click on this and read it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to summarize it. So I'm going to post this link in the comments. And there you go. And so we'll welcome Desiree to the screen, and just bear with me. We're summing up this article real quick. So anyway, this article discusses the new federal food pyramid that was unveiled in January 26 that emphasizes protein-rich foods, particularly meat. Remember, it's like an upside-down pyramid or a funnel, and you're supposed to also read it from left to right. And up and taking the top spot is red meat, which kind of came as a shock to vegans and some other individual groups. But anyway, this new upside-down pyramid or funnel is expected to influence the national school lunch programs around the country. And so various nutrition experts, including groups tied to Make America Healthy Again, and like Moms Across America is one of them that usually aligns with MAHA, but they're kind of not really keen on this. They're not really happy with this particular new food pyramid and the potential effects it might have on the school lunch program. Now shut that door. because it's getting noisy out there. All right. So again, the new pyramid prioritizes protein, and to some extent fat, and both in, in everybody's diets, which include children. And the U.S. Department of Agriculture is anticipated to eventually align the school lunch meals with this pyramid, which will increase the requirement for meat among the lunches. The criticism is that experts are arguing that fiber is the more pressing nutrient gap for kids. They claim that most children get enough protein as it is, but fiber intake is often too low, and they're afraid that increasing the meat could crowd out fiber-rich foods like fruits and vegetables. And so these groups and these MAHA-aligned groups like Moms Across America and these experts and about 900 school districts have sent this letter to the USDA, begging them to basically keep the current meat requirements rather than raise them, and calling the fiber as being a higher priority. So nothing has actually changed yet, though, with the school lunch program. This is all still potentially in the future.
Well, this here is an absurd statement. The agency's proposal isn't out yet, but those who believe fiber, you scrolled off of it. I lost it.
Oh, sorry.
It was right there. The agency's proposal isn't out yet, but those who believe fiber and not protein is a bigger priority for Americans in general, and kids in particular are already expressing anxiety about it. Oh, give me a break, cry me a river. Nobody is expressing anxiety about it, especially the kids.
Right.
That is so stupid. All they're doing is trying to fearmonger with something like that. That's ridiculous.
Right.
And here's what's sad. I know when I was going to school as a kid in the 80s and 90s, I know that we were fed duck food, but that food was more nutritious than what they have today. It was sad. The same school that my daughter goes to, I'm walking to go do a meeting across the cafeteria, and I see for breakfast, no eggs, maybe a sausage, but donuts, cereal, and it's all carbs, and maybe fruits and fruits, and then my daughter said that even the lunch is not very healthy at all. It's just all duck food.
You got to remember, duck food is cheap, and the only thing they care about is money. So they're going to feed the kids a bunch of crap. They don't want to have to give them real food.
I think that's what boils down to it. And as a property taxpayer, biggest part of my taxes do go to the school, and I feel that if you're a taxpayer, you should have a say-so of how that school is ran, because that's the biggest part of their taxes go to.
Especially if you got children.
Yeah, I have a daughter that's a sophomore, 2 more years, and yet, she has to eat that crap. Granted, she is not a carnivore, but still, she gets a better nutritious meal at home than she does at school.
And I've heard of parents not liking the school menus, so they send food. They send the children with a home packed lunch, and I've actually heard of teachers taking away that lunch from them because they said it wasn't healthy.
No, that's terrible. I was a packer. I never liked my school lunches, so I always packed.
Well,
no.
Prior to,
I got someone I'm going to try and add to the stage here. They're not showing the video.
In elementary school, quite often.
There we go.
Quite often, I went home for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty common back then.
Oh, wow.
And then when I got into junior high and high school, we had, regular lunches. I still took my lunch a lot until like my last 2 years in high school. I started eating at the snack bar all the time, just hamburgers, pizza, stuff like that, just junk,
mm-hmm.
But what I was eating there wasn't any worse than what they was feeding in the chow line there.
Yeah. Yeah, so school lunches were always like pizza Fridays, and then you had donuts and burgers and hot dogs and stuff like that.
Fish
Macaroni
sticks
and
on
cheese,
Friday.
fish sticks. Yeah, so like I would always pack, and I packed relatively healthy. I made my sandwich, and I took like some fruit and vegetables and stuff. So 'cause I didn't
Tater
like the
tots.
school junk. Yeah. So let's say hi to Desiree. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Did it work?
It worked.
Here you go.
Well, hi. Thank you
Hi.
for allowing me to come and crash your party.
Oh, that's okay.
I've never like clicked on the StreamYard link before. I've never done that. So I'm just like, well, you guys seem like a nice crowd. Maybe I can just jump in and give it a try and see how it works.
Absolutely.
I happen to be out doing my walk right now. That's why I had my camera off, because I'm like, oh, that's kind of distracting. Like I'm just like bopping along. So I had it off. But yeah, hi. I'm new to this whole carnivore thing as of this year.
Okay.
And
When-
yeah. Say that again.
How long have you been doing it?
So January like 2nd was kind of my first day of like, okay, let's see if we can figure this out. Dr. Kiltz is my inspiration. For those of you that have seen me on before and asking questions, I'm the one that's trying to start a family. And so I learned about the BB's diet and Dr. Kiltz and this whole like crazy thing about carnivore and a lion diet. And I'm just like, what? And then you talk about eating a lot of fat. And then I'm even more like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So it's been kind of strange. And I share a lot of it with my husband. I talk to him quite a bit about the morning shows. I don't always, because I'm in Nebraska. So you guys are on like at 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh my gosh. That's a lot early for
I don't
me.
get up for them either. I'm in the same time zone, but that's still too early for me.
Yeah. So I usually just watch them like later on in the day, or sometimes I'll like binge watch them if I don't get to them like every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you, if you don't be a part of the community on a regular basis, you do start to just kind of get lost in the weeds, and you start to revert back to old behaviors because you're like, shoot, I've lost 30 pounds. I'm feeling great. I mean, I can totally just, like binge on Friday night and have something different. And then it's the weekend. So I'll just, eat pizza. And then it's Sunday and it's like, oh, well, I can have ice cream. It'll be fine. And then all of a sudden you're just back into eating whatever you want. And so the last 2 days I've been dealing with, I think you guys call it the keto flu, where you're just like super, super tired. And yeah. So I'm just now kind of trying to get back into it. And I put on 10 pounds in 1 week. It's just crazy, but I wasn't being as active and I wasn't following along. And it is true. You need your community. You need people.
You do, and
Yeah.
you need to have the right mindset. You got to know what your why is. You got to know what your why is, and you got to be determined to reach your goals. You can't let nothing stand in your way.
Yeah. And I mean, I still have like a few just hesitancies because I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, am I doing it right? Am I not doing it right? Especially with cooking the food.
Let me give you
That's
some
why-
advice. Let me give you some
Yeah,
advice.
please.
You can go on audiobooks. Be great to listen to while you're walking, or you can go buy the book. But get Dr. Sean Baker's book, The Carnivore Diet. He goes through every detail of what it takes to do this. You read that, and it's written in a nice, easy way that's easy to understand. And to me, it's the comprehensive starting guide to eating carnivore. It'll tell you everything you need to know.
Okay. I
If
mean,
you follow that, then you can be successful if you're willing to follow it.
yeah.
As far as your keto flu, a lot of people like to ease into carnivore so that they don't get that keto flu. In other words, they like to start off with whole foods, eating meats and vegetables, just getting rid of the sugars, the highly processed food, the grains, the seed oils, and ease into it slower. And as you ease into it, start getting rid of the vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
You just jump in with both feet like I did. Yeah, you're going to go juice. But if you're willing to tough it out, to me, you get there quicker if you tough it out. I'm an abstainer. I can't ease into anything. I just have to quit cold turkey. That's my style.
Now,
Yeah.
you've been doing this since January, though, right? So you were pretty regular until just a recent mishap, right?
Yeah, I've gone through some phases. So I started it in January, but I looked at my cupboard and I'm like, I got a lot of things. I got a lot of food in boxes and a lot of food in cans. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I can't just throw all of this away. So what we did is we did like keto kind of like 3 days a week. And then the rest of the week we would open up a can of vegetables and have that with salmon or something, just to try to work through some of that stuff.
Yeah, that's fine.
All of January and probably all of February, because I finally came on one of the calls and I asked about some of the symptoms that I was having. I was having diarrhea like every single day. And I'm just like, what is wrong? And that's when I was thinking, okay, am I doing something wrong? But I'm also taking metformin, which is prescribed to me from CNY. So, and then Dr. Nelson was like, yes, the metformin can do that to you as well. So I was kind of getting double hit. So then I backed off, just kind of went carnivore, but then only did, I guess we'll say carbs on the weekends. But it started to kind of trickle into this like, oh, now we're just going to eat carbs all week long. And that's what happened this last week. So I'm just like, okay, I need to. But I'll tell you what, my stomach feels great. I cut my metformin in half. And then I've just been trying to focus a little bit more on keto items. And I had a coaching call with Amy Davis. She was wonderful. And just kind of assured me stuff that I kind of knew because I've been watching you guys for so long now and picking up on stuff, but it was just really nice to have that affirmation from her. She's like, look, just cook up a whole thing of bacon, put it in the fridge, make yourself some deviled eggs, put them in the fridge. So every time you feel the need to eat something, that's what you're eating. And that really, when I was the most successful there for a couple weeks, that was the answer. So I did that last night. I made a bunch of bacon and some deviled eggs with like butter and bacon grease and just put those together. So
yeah, no, that was good
That's
advice.
lots of salt.
Yeah, because we're living in like we do in this day and age, we kind of become accustomed to convenience foods where we can just grab and go.
Mhm.
Problem
Yep.
is most convenience foods are junk foods. So
Except for
yeah, so
iguana.
like the carnivore or keto, if you do keto or carnivore, you have to prepare your food either
Mhm.
when you're hungry or you have to prepare food so it's there for your convenience, so you can reach in and grab that deviled egg, hard boiled egg, and you reach in and grab that
Mhm.
bacon and
Iguana.
and iguana in the case of Rick, yeah.
Heart
That way
attack
it's
style.
ready. It's ready. So yeah, there are some individuals that they'll take on the weekend, they'll fire up the grill and they'll cook multiple burger patties, they'll cook chicken, they'll cook steaks, and and then bag it all up and put it in the fridge so they can just heat and eat,
Or you can
Yeah.
eat it raw.
or you can eat it raw, or you can eat it cold, so.
I'm really curious about this whole raw thing. We talked about it in the call earlier today. with Dr. Kiltz. And I don't know, I'm just like in my head, I don't think I'm quite ready yet. But I do remember as a kid, I would always, my little fingers, I would like reach up and like grab some hamburger. And I loved that. But and my mom would always smack my hand. Stop, don't eat that raw. I thought it was great.
Don't get into too many nuances in carnivore yet. Get yourself established, get yourself adapted, get into your routine. And if you want to play with something like fasting or a little raw stuff now and then, if you want to play with it, that's fine. But first, get yourself established in your diet, in your lifestyle, because this is your new lifestyle. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah. Yep.
So get established first. Don't try too much at once.
Yeah, and that is the nice thing I enjoy. Like I listened to Sunday. I only got in on half of that call Sunday morning, but that's what you guys were saying. Like, there's no carnivore police. Just kind of do what you can, and you kind of slowly will adapt. And so, yeah, I'm doing the coaching class. I'm not too confident about being a coach. The medical terms and all that stuff just kind of goes right over my head. But I am learning quite a bit, and hopefully I'll get that finished here in April. So.
And you can always go back and review those videos and review that information too. So it's not like that's like it disappears for you now that you've bought into it. All those courses are always accessible to you.
Okay, thank you so much, because I've been wondering, because a lot of the recordings, I'll listen to it like 2 or 3 times because there's some of the concepts I'm just not quite grasping, and I don't feel confident like repeating it, or I just don't feel comfortable or confident talking to other people about it because I don't really know what I'm saying. So so that makes me feel better. I can kind of just finish the course, but then I can still always go back
and review it. And in time, as this becomes, you're being exposed to it for the first time, as you talk about it more with others in the community, if you go over the course information again, that'll simmer down into your mind and heart, and then your confidence to talk about it will grow. Because you get to the point where you go from I think I know the answer to that to I know the answer to that. You get to the point where you're like, okay, I know what I'm talking about. So.
Yeah, Dr. Kiltz always says, is it biologic or pathologic? And I'm like, what's the difference? I'm like, I'm just super green with all of it yet.
I would just focus on trying to be, a good carnivore, So, and if when you happen to slip up, what you don't tell yourself is well, I'll start again tomorrow, or it's Saturday, I'll start again Monday. Because when you get into that mentality, you're always pushing it off. And next thing you know, weeks have gone by and a lot of weight's returned. And, so if you slip up for one meal or whatever, oh, well, the very next meal, the same day, you're back to being a carnivore again, So don't beat yourself up over it, but also don't start coming up with excuses by delaying I'll get back on that. You're always on it. You're always on it. Even if you slipped up for breakfast, you're still on it. You're not now suddenly off of it. So keep that mentality. I'm a carnivore. I had a piece of toast. Oops. I'm still a carnivore. Next meal, carnivore.
It's good to mess up because it's a lesson. Forget the mistake. Remember the lesson. You now know what happens if you do that. So now you know not to do that again.
Yes, and how you feel. So my husband.
Want a toast?
So what did you say?
Why would anybody want toast? Yuck.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes it gets you.
If you got a steak in front of you, why would anybody want bread? I don't understand that.
Well,
If I could chime in,
Sure.
My
Yeah, Deanna jumped in,
recommendation,
and obviously she
my
wants to say something here.
yeah, my recommendation, Desiree, is that if you feel like you need to indulge in something, do it more strategically. If you're on a fertility journey, okay, grains are very, very inflammatory. So picking non, and not necessarily like a gluten-free product. However, there are some grain-free products. These are a couple things. Like my husband's not 100% carnivore, but he does grain-free things. So there's like products like from Simple Mills. Okay, they're made from almond flour, which has oxalates and things like that. But the safest thing is if you like coconut, a good quality coconut milk, and to make a uh, ice cream out of this. You can do ice cream if you tolerate dairy, but the coconut milk, an organic, full fat,
Uh-huh.
can kind of get you through, along with a, you mix that with something like a carnivore protein powder. Okay, this one's sweetened with monk fruit.
Okay.
I have these for my grandkids. My husband uses them, but they're not as inflammatory. If you eat something with wheat, barley, oats, even rice, it can stimulate IgG antibodies that take up to 3 months to clear from your body. So for me and my clients, I tell them, if you're going to cheat on something that doesn't have, it's not bread, it's not birthday cake. Have a piece of good quality chocolate. This one is what I actually do treat myself to once in a while. It is a keto uh, chocolate truffle. It's got
Uh-huh.
organic chocolate, which has soluble tapioca fiber, so it has a fiber in it. It has organic cacao butter. Uh, what else? They fiber is their sort of thing. Free tapioca fiber, but then it's just sunflower lecithin, monk fruit, and MCT oil. So it's actually high in fat. I've tested my blood sugar when I use it, but I'll do just one, and it's a decadent chocolate. And on occasion, that's my thing, like Hiltz's ice cream. But I don't do as well with just pure dairy with cream as I would if I made Kiltz's ice cream with coconut milk on occasion. But
Yeah.
but there are there's a couple of carnivore protein powders that are vanilla or chocolate that you can allow. To me, it's like, if you're going to, if you need something, cheat on something that's not going to be as inflammatory, but then get
Yeah.
back on, the horse. And and like Dr. Kiltz will say, the fat. I just finished almost a full pound ribeye, and it was the
Nice.
most delicious sweet. It had all that fat, and
Hmm.
I can't get my husband to eat the fat. He'll cut the
That's the
fat
best
off
part.
of his. Now I get him, at least so it's not just stuck on his plate. He'll cut the edge of his, because he likes the New York. So he'll cut the fat off of his New York, and I throw that in the pan with my ribeye, just enough to soften it, not to cook it down. And um, so that fat is like, Dr. Kiltz's baby making secret, right, Dr. Kiltz? I see you came in. So,
Got
but
it. Got
there
it.
are, you know, and maybe we can meet up at another time, because there are some cheap things that won't cause the same inflammatory autoimmune, you know, the immune system flaring things, which is harmful for your fertility journey. And for anybody else, anybody with I have an arm list of autoimmune disorders that I've had to get through. But
I still don't understand why they call it a cheat. Cheat should give you an advantage. Since when does duck food give you an advantage?
yeah, it's a treat. It's a treat. The
Treat.
other thing is like, even just say everything I do. So if this is like this little tiny one, this is like the size of one the uh, chocolate. I put it on a paper towel and I take a knife and I cut it into like 10 teeny tiny pieces. And I put it in my mouth and I let it melt. And I just totally enjoy it. You can do the same thing with these, you know, this Q chocolate brand. It's sweetened with um, coconut sugar, but they're teeny tiny chocolate chips. And if you take, you know, even just 4 or 5 of them, I mean, they're tiny, they're itty bitty. And you just, instead of eating a piece of chocolate birthday cake, which is going to just, you know, it's going to have seed oil, it's going to have flour in it, it's going to have artificial flavors, pure sugar. I mean, it's really going to just give yourself a treat and savor every little bit, and, you know, just tiny bit, because once it passes out of your mouth, you're not enjoying it anymore, right?
If it's a steak, you are.
Exactly.
It's just
And
the after effect.
I will say it's Deanna, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I was hoping I would remember. You know, the more I eat carnivore, like as the days go by, that craving for sugar just kind of goes away. And I'm so
Right.
grateful for that. I never ever thought I would ever be free of craving sugar and craving pastries. And it was just, when that happened for the first time, I just thought, okay, there is something really strange about this approach. How did
Those are
that
natural.
happen? Like, how
Those
did
are
I
that
can't,
happen?
natural
Like, I don't
cravings.
understand.
I
Those are
can't
natural.
tolerate the carnivore, these carnivore protein powder things, because they're way too sweet. I mean,
Yep.
your sweet taste totally changes. But the other thing with carnivore, have you tried any sardines?
Love them.
So I did, but like in my head, I just got freaked out because I was, first of all, I was scared to even open the can because I thought they were going to have heads. And then that, like, oh, I was like, oh my God, I can't. As soon as I see a head, I'm done. But there was no head, but there was skin. And I'm like, oh gosh. So, but
I
I will
hear you,
say,
because it's like, probably, well, probably go back at least 5 to 10 years ago. You couldn't know, if somebody offered me $1,000 to eat a sardine, I would have refused it. I wouldn't even open a can. So I 100%, but that's the magic of carnivore too, is how your taste changes. And I can tell you that for me, sardines they are a superfood. They turn my brain on, they satisfy me. And I, to this day, the first 2 or 3 bites are not, I can't say I like them. They're yummy. But after I get through 3 bites, my brain and my body go, you need this. This is good. And all of a sudden it actually starts tasting better. And I think on one of the podcasts, I think uh, Carrie Mann, they were talking about cod liver. So I ordered cod liver. I haven't been able to eat regular beef liver fresh yet. I can do it out of the capsule. But this Icelandic cod liver is actually pretty good. And I mushed it together with the sardines. This lemon preserve one, it's called Fishy Wife. So if you are squeamish on sardines,
I
try
think
this
Rick is trying to
brand.
bait me with duck food or something.
It's
No,
super
it's an
good.
iguana.
That's an iguana.
An iguana.
Oh my god! Is
That's
that a
it.
That's
That'll
a
probably
ready-
be his heart. He's gonna convert
a
it to heart
throat-
attack style
I
probably
don't-
tomorrow.
That's
I
a
don't think-
That's right.
frozen iguana.
I don't think Nebraska has iguanas. I've not seen any Nebraska or iguanas in Nebraska. Maybe raccoon or possum? I
In
don't
my
know.
neighborhood,
Any suggestions?
Now you talk about fatty. Coon is fatty. I'm here to tell you, that's the fattiest animal on the face of this planet.
Raccoon?
Oh yeah, extremely
Oh, wow.
fatty.
We get raccoons around here every so often.
Yeah, you cook them up, you slow smoke them in the smoker, man, they're just gonna be swimming in grease.
But Dr. Kiltz, do you agree for our fertility folks that sardines could be a superfood with the omega
Well, I
fatty
think
acids?
they're fatty fish and they're good. I'm an anchovy fan myself and not a sardines, but they're all good. I mean, I still just go right to red or raw fatty beef and butter. And if you're gonna touch the protein stuff, add more fat, cream, eggs, butter. You know, it's the more fat is really the key to this because it suppresses the microbes in the gut, which suppresses the fermentation in the colon. And it's the fermentation in the colon that causes most damage.
Thank you very much. A major milestone tonight for
Now, so me, I'm not a fan of sardines because when I was a kid, I liked them and smoked oysters. But I always ate them with crackers, always ate them on crackers. And so for me to eat sardines, I associate them with crackers. And that's the only way I want to eat them. So I just don't eat them. I don't like them without crackers.
And
It's
I only
funny.
ate anchovies with Caesar salad dressing. I don't eat them anymore.
Well, see, anchovies I only ate them on my pizza. Well, I can't eat that anymore either.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's funny how we put those together.
Exactly. Association.
Well,
I was thinking about what
Go ahead.
I was thinking about what Deanna was saying with the examples she was given of the different products she was holding up, and she said to be strategic about it. So, you know, I would say the same thing, and maybe and word it a little differently. Like, try and be as faithful of a carnivore as you can. And Rick said, why do they call it cheating? That's because when we're talking about staying faithful to your diet, you know. So if when you're not faithful to your diet, you're cheating, just like if you're not faithful to a spouse, you're cheating. So that's why they call it cheating. But you try and be a faithful carnivore as much as you possibly can. And if you're going to deviate, which you want to try not to, but you know, there's sometimes you either can't help it or you're going, or maybe you plan to. That's when you're strategic. So always try and opt for something less bad on the spectrum. So like, you know, you go get a pizza, that's very bad. You know, I could get a pizza and I can devour the whole pizza. Even to this day, if I started eating one, I wouldn't stop till the entire pizza's done. It would be a terrible thing. So I haven't had pizza in 3 years, and which is how long I've been carnivore. You know, but you try and, you know, they make some of these keto products that are less bad. I'm of the whole food, single ingredient whole foods kind of mentality. So like, you know, broccoli is less bad than a pizza, you know, and some blueberries is less bad than candy, you know. So that, you know, that be strategic about it in that way also. But I do definitely agree. One of my personal vows is no grains. So I stay away from the wheat, especially the wheat, the oats, the barley, and the rice. And if anything I slip on, it's a little corn once in a while. So, but yeah, I try and avoid grains at all costs. So because and sugar to me is just another grain. So my personal food philosophy is avoid grains and avoid refined sugars. That by adhering to that philosophy, I pretty much am able to keep off of any man-made processed food. And so if I'm going to I eat carnivore 97% of the time, every day, all 3 meals a day. And then once in a while, if I quote unquote cheat, it's going to be with something all natural, something that what I always explain it as something that God or nature provided, that you could go out and pluck off of a vine or a fig tree, and you can't go out and eat most of these grains. They got to be crushed between stones and processed and stuff, but you can go out and eat some fruitage once in a while. So
isn't a non-carnivore food, it's not a cheat, it's a survival food.
Right. So you were away from the camera when I said the reason I'm using cheat in quotes. So the reason they call it cheating on your diet is because you were not faithful. Just like they call it cheating on a spouse. You could apply your same question to that situation. Why do they call it a cheat when a cheat gives you an advantage? They're talking about cheat in the sense of infidelity. So you're like, you're cheating on your diet as in you're not being faithful to your diet.
But carnivore is not a religion. I don't see.
But it is a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle, but it includes everything. Carnivore is a lifestyle about enjoying the best foods. And if you have to eat non-carnivore foods for survival, that's acceptable too. Even a cat eats grass sometimes.
I agree. Oh, I completely agree with you. So that's why I put cheat up in air quotes, like cheat. And that's why I usually say if I choose to deviate. If you listen to me talk a lot, I'll talk about how if I choose to deviate, I don't like to say cheat. If I choose to deviate, because if I go out to eat once a month and, I used to be the guy that would be like, I can't have any side of asparagus or broccoli. Can you maybe cook me up with more meat? Or, I used to be a real pain in the butt to the wait staff. Now I'm just like, it's the one time a month that I'm going to have a few florets of broccoli. Who cares? That's not going to kill me. So, that's why I say if I cheat, I cheat with keto, but I don't like to use the word cheat. I like to say I occasionally deviate from my lifestyle. So
can I make a comment?
Yeah, go right ahead.
So I never cheat. I only treat. The treat is a word of positivity and power. I choose to treat. Like you said, deviate, but I like the deviate and deviance kind of go together. So I choose to treat from time to time. Oh my God, I had a French fry dipped in duck grease mayonnaise, fried in tallow, lard, or duck grease, right? And I would pick a French fry over broccoli all day long. But from time to time, I treat. And the most important thing is add fat. That's why a French fry, extra crispy, dipped in duck grease mayonnaise is you add more fat, it modulates the power of the sugar or the protein. That's why I don't do proteins. I'd rather do sugar because they're metabolized the same. And I believe that small amounts of natural sugar, okay, we'll say cane sugar, honey, small amounts are not your killer because they're absorbed quickly in the upper gut. So the microbes don't get them in the lower gut. And so if you add a lot of fat, a little bit of sugar, it's not your problem. Our problem is because we drink our sugar calories and we're toast. I heard Desiree say something about toast, a really good sourdough with a whole lot of butter. But the best thing is just eat the butter and neglect the sourdough all day long. And again, it suppresses the microbes in the gut. It enhances the power of the person, in my opinion. But I agree with Bob wholeheartedly.
Yeah, no, and I like that. I like that positive, putting that positive spin on it. I choose to treat once in a while, not cheat. I choose to treat once in a while.
But I
Yeah,
don't
and
tell my wife.
I won't treat myself with a pizza though.
I've
But I might have
experimented
a
a couple of
bite.
times.
I've had a bite or two. I mean, I don't lose my again. I believe the power is in our positive wisdom and words and things like that. But I, you know, I understand maybe for you, Bob, you know, it's like that pizza here is this pizza here, baby. But
Yeah.
pizza is one of the very best.
One
things.
slice, one pie. It's one slice becomes one pie for me. So
Yeah.
I can't even start.
Pizza's
Or
nasty.
if someone's offers me like a piece of one, you know, I could do that, but you know, don't sit me down at a dinner table and say we're having pizza tonight, because there will be no leftovers, I guarantee.
I used to
I'm the
make
only-
a shrimp scampi pizza with a butter sauce and a very ultra thin sourdough crust. Was one of the most amazing, one of my pizza specialties. But I haven't had it in 20 years, something like that.
Am
I
I
think
the
I
only
made it
one?
for my daughter.
Am I the only one that doesn't like pizza?
Probably.
And it tears me up. Pizza gives me
Oh.
violent diarrhea. Violent.
No tomato sauce. It's a butter cream sauce. Again, it's you use
Alfredo.
so much. And if you use like a panko crust or a chicken, it can be
Well,
done.
That's a pacemaker pizza. That's what I make.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a couple examples. Let's say the last two meals that I had out. So one of them was wings, you know, so I like to go out for wings, buffalo wings, chicken wings or whatever, you know, and so have them with usually like a Cajun sauce. Because I like a little spice. And then with that, I also had someone at the table had ordered fried pickles. So I had a fried pickle. And then on Saturday, there's a restaurant down the street here that, because I've tried making this at home and I fail every time. They make the best liver and onions available. So I had liver and onions, and I was talking about it on Target Prime Ribs chat. I was like, people might knock on me for eating the onions, but it was a great meal. I've tried to make liver at home, and it always tastes horrible. I cannot cook liver to save my life at the house.
Don't overcook it.
Yeah, I overcook it, undercook it. I don't know what it is, but I've yet to succeed. The only liver I've liked at home has been raw. So
Yes.
I was like, let me try this raw, and I actually ate raw liver, and I'm like, this is
Mhm.
it tastes nothing like cooked liver.
tastes great,
actually
doesn't
really
it?
Good. But yeah, so this restaurant I went to, I had liver and onions. Absolutely delicious. So that's how I get my organ meat once in a while.
Favorite breakfast:
Boss
raw
hog.
liver and black coffee.
Mhm.
That's Boss Hog.
Boss hog, raw liver,
Yeah,
and
Boss
black
Hog
coffee.
from the Dukes of Hazzard. That was the
Wow.
only food he offered Sheriff Roscoe because he knew he hated it.
Yeah. So there's an example of me treating myself. So
Well, I've never cheated. I've just experimented a couple of times.
yeah, experiment. That's a good one. So, or sometimes if the family is insistent on, you know, like we used to go to Mexican all the time, but then I started a carnivore diet now. Now I don't want to go to a Mexican restaurant because I don't want to put up with the temptation. But every once in a while, the family, you know, gets the upper hand. They complain a lot, so we end up at the Mexican restaurant. So I've had a few chips and salsa while waiting on my meal. You know, so that's the only grain. That's the only grain I've really had is corn. So that's why
Every
I've had
time.
sometimes corn. That's it. So
Every time that one of my friends has given me one of their specialties, either number one, I couldn't eat it because it tasted awful, or number two, it tasted good and it tortured me in the bathroom later. So what option do I have?
Yeah, when your body becomes that pure with nutrition and you introduce a poison to it, you're going to react. I have done the same exact thing. You know,
That's what happened, Jeff. That's what happened to me when I had those 3 mini pretzels.
Yeah.
I had 3 mini pretzels. I was sick for 3 days in the bathroom with diarrhea.
Yeah. Yeah. When you eat the poison all the time, your body gets adjusted to it. You know, it
Right.
accepts it. It deals with it. But when you clean out your body, you know, like I've been clean for 3 years now. Yeah. What was I was talking about a couple of weeks ago? I had some eggs at a restaurant, and man, they lit me up. I know they're cooked in seed oils, and they lit me up.
They had a potluck at work, and they brought in, you know, I guess they're deep fried chicken wings. They're not coated with any breading, but they must be doused in seed oil, whatever. It made me sick.
Yeah.
It made me sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll do that. Yeah, you're too pure.
In my area, there's only one restaurant that I will get wings, and they smoke them. They don't fry them in seed oils at all, and that's in Columbia.
Now, I've heard, don't know how true it is, but I've heard like Buffalo Wild Wings, they supposedly went to frying in tallow. Now, is it pure tallow that's not adulterated? I don't know.
No, it's not.
They use a tallow blend.
That's a tallow blend.
Okay, so it's worthless.
I've been through their dumpster. I know what they use.
It's worthless then.
Yeah.
Well, it's majority of tallow, but it has canola oil in it. Why they did that, I don't know.
It's worthless. Well, that's like my sister-in-law's restaurant. I saw them ladling out the oil to fry the steaks on the flat top. And I went over and I said, "What are you frying at?" And he said, "Well, it's butter." I said, "Can I see the container?" I was working in the restaurant. I was her butcher. I was cutting her steaks and her ribeyes for her. And I said, "Can I see the container?" Showed it to me, and it was a butter blend. It was butter. Butter was in there for the flavoring. The whole thing was canola oil with just enough butter in it for flavoring.
And name it. And to name it. Give it butter, right?
Yeah, yeah. And so I told her, I said, "Do me a favor, don't use that on my steaks." Because that was my pay for cutting meat for it was to get a steak dinner afterwards.
Dr. Nelson's firing me here. He says I got to hand over my carnivore card.
Yeah.
I was saying that to Thomas on his live stream on Saturday. I was like, yeah, here I'm openly confessing to eating liver and onions. There's probably people out there like, what's this guy calling himself carnivore telling us he's eating liver and onions for? Get him out of here.
Well, I've got a ton of liver in the freezer I need to cook up. I've got beef liver. I got sheep liver. I got goat liver. I'll be getting some more goat liver next week or later on this week because I put another goat in the processor.
Jeff, do you ever get the kidneys or the spleen or anything else?
Not the spleen. I don't like the spleen. I don't like the texture of it. I mean, I've gotten it before. No, I always get I get the heart, the liver, and the kidneys.
Does anyone eat spleen? I've never eaten it. Never touched it.
Yeah, I've eaten it. I've grilled it up, but I don't like it because of the texture. There's not a whole lot of flavor to it, really.
Yeah.
What about the testicles?
Oh yeah, yeah. I get them occasionally if the animal's not too old. Now, when I was working on the ranches, I was the guy that did most of the castrating, and so I had an ice chest with ice water in it right next to the calf table where I'd cut them and extract them. And I'd toss the testes into the ice water. And then when I was through, they'd take them up to the women folk up at the ranch house and they'd skin them and fry them up. And we'd have that at lunch. It'd always be some, beef cooking all day, nice and tender, on the bone or whatnot. And we'd have that beef, and then we'd have those calf fries on the side. Of course, now back then they were breaded and fried and served with a cream gravy, but they were delicious. But yeah, I harvest my own. But a lot of times, sometimes they'll give them to me, when I have an animal process. Sometimes I don't. And my beef cattle, I'm not taking any bulls in, so they're already cut. It's steers or cows that I take in for my beef.
Come here. What are you doing?
And this last goat I took in, he was a wither. So he was cut. He didn't have nothing. See what you can look forward to, Desiree? Raise your own animals.
Well,
raise your own food.
Good joke.
So I kind of sort of do. I grew up on a dairy farm, so my whole life as a kid, all of our meat was from the cattle that we raised. We had registered Holsteins and Shorthorn. My grandparents have since sold the dairy. That was many, many years ago, and now my stepdad still has ranch cattle. So I usually get some meat from him, and then right now he's got a steer that he's gonna grass feed, and then he usually gives him a little corn to help fatten him up. And I was okay with that, but I think I was hearing you guys kind of talk about grass-fed beef, that you wouldn't want to give them any corn. So I may have to tell my dad to not give it the corn.
Okay,
But
my opinion on that, since I raised mine, I like grass-fed, and I raise mine grass-fed. But if I'm out of beef, I have no problem going to the store and buying a grain-finished beef. You know, unless you are super sensitive to it, and some people are, you're going to get a better beef if it's grain-finished. As far as flavor, as far as the fat amount, it's going to be more tender. It's going to be a better beef. So it comes down to if you're not sensitive to it, it comes down to palate, to taste. Now, if you want to be more pure, go strictly grass finished. But if it doesn't affect your body, don't stress yourself about having to get grass finished. You know, if you can get it, that's great. If not, don't worry about it.
I agree with Jeff.
Well, I appreciate that.
I love the grain finish, and a lot of the places I get it, they'll actually grain finish them out on the grasses, and it's the very best to me. I like the fattier cuts, and that's the best. I well, really glad to be here, guys. I'll see you guys later because it's half an hour past, so I was late, Bob. Thank you all.
That's okay.
All right. God bless everybody.
Good night. Thanks for
Yeah,
showing up.
Good night.
Good night.
Appreciate it.
Night.
Good night.
He'll be on at 6 a.m., right? 6 a.m. in the morning.
Correct.
Eastern time.
Eastern time. Yep.
Yep, Eastern time. Yeah. Well, thanks for letting me join you guys. I mean, I'll still hang out if you guys are still going to chat and just kind of listen along. You probably don't have to have me on the stage or anything like that, but I enjoy listening to the conversation. I really do. So
Now,
What's up,
are you,
You'll definitely learn a lot for sure.
Yeah.
are you on
Yes.
Kiltz's tribe?
I am, and I'm currently doing the coaching class. I'm on module 7 right now. So hopefully I'll have that finished up here in April.
Great.
So yeah, every day I learn something new from each of you. It's just amazing. And so I've started following some of you on YouTube. I have a channel on YouTube as well. I'm just not confident. So I haven't really done a lot with it. But I think a place to start is I just need to do lives like this and just invite somebody to come on so I can interview you and just kind of get to know you a little bit better and start building up that media platform. But anyway, right now I just kind of hang in the background and listen to you guys. And I did want to tell you, you guys were talking about specialty items. I do have a heart and a beef tongue in my freezer, and I'm just like, oh my God, I do not know what to do with these right now. So,
I can tell you, I love heart and I love beef tongue. It's good stuff. I can teach you how to cook them if you want. What do you go by on Kiltz's tribe?
So on Kiltz's tribe, I'm pretty sure it's just my name, Desiree Schmiel, just how you see it. And I don't know, I can't see very well, but who is talking to me?
Geezy, Jeff Klein.
Okay, I don't think I'm following you on YouTube. That your name doesn't sound familiar.
I don't have a YouTube channel, but
Okay.
I do. I am on Kiltz's tribe, Mighty
Okay.
Tribe, and I'm also on carnivoretalk.com.
Okay, carnivoretalk.com.
Yeah, carnivoretalk.com is Bob's talk forum. It's not as
Okay.
big as Kills' Tribe, but a lot of good folks over there.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, reach out to me because I definitely could use the help. That's why if you were on the call earlier today, that's why I was asking, like, are you guys putting these recipes and these secrets on how you cook stuff on the Tribe, on the Mighty app, just so I can kind of like poke around and try to find some stuff. But that's what that was
They
for, because
generally
I got
don't.
these.
They generally don't they have some recipes on there, and I've posted
Yeah.
some on the Tribe. Carnivore Talk, we have a recipe section over there. And if you'll let Bob know what your YouTube channel is, he'll post it up for everybody.
Yep. Yeah.
It's all one word: faith, fuel, and footsteps. In words, no characters. Faith, fuel, and footsteps.
I like it.
So far, all I have up there is I created my handle, and then I wrote my little narrative, and just like a couple days ago, I went through Dr. Nelson and Dr. Kiltz's like live videos, and I tried to like post them on my YouTube channel. So, because I needed some kind of content. Right now, I don't have anything. So, yeah.
Live streaming is like some of the best thing to do. I know Rick has a live stream that he does. It's pretty lengthy, but it's really fun to go to. I know tomorrow night, Russ Mitchell, he has a live keto cookout. Tomorrow night will be his sidekick will be Laura Russell. And then I know on Wednesdays there's Wick Goes Carnivore. They have a live on Wednesday. And then I know Mitch, Old Guy Carnivore, he's right after Kiltz's live stream. And then I know Thomas Target Prime Rib, he does interviews and live streams. And then I have my channel. I do live streams on Sundays at 3 p.m. our time and 4 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. And I need to work on Instagram. I've got it set up that when Kiltz goes live, I get like a notification on my phone. But again, that's like 5 o'clock in the morning, Nebraska time. So I don't always join. Today I did because I just happened to be up. But I can't figure out how to do notifications for YouTube. I thought I had it figured out, and even Facebook. So I got to mess around with that a little bit. Years ago, I turned all that social media stuff off because I felt like I became a little obsessive with it. Like I wasn't doing anything with my life. I was just like all on social media. And so I told myself, okay, you need to like quit this cold turkey because you need to get outside and walk and do things. And it's so funny because I've heard you guys kind of talk about that, like getting on and following somebody's or participating in somebody's like live stream or, watching videos and stuff like that. And then eventually you have to tell yourself like, okay, hold on a second, I still have to have some time to go exercise or do other things. But when I'm walking like this, sorry about all the huffing and puffing, but I love to listen to this. Like, this is what I really enjoy. So I just need to figure out when people are having their live streams and be able to just like chime in and listen while I'm walking, because it's so encouraging. It's like I'm walking with you guys instead of by myself. And that's just really nice because right now I'm unemployed because we're trying to focus on building a family and keeping my stress down. And I don't know if you've ever been unemployed, but it's a lonely place to be. So I really appreciate how welcoming this community is and that I can just jump in and join at any time. And you guys don't care if I've been carnivore for one day or 10 years, or I'm not carnivore. You don't care. You just
pretty
accept
open here.
me. And
Yep.
yeah. And it's like, I can't really do anything wrong. You offer continual support. And I've just never seen a group like this with such positivity. It is wild. I can't believe it. So just thankful to be here. So
I don't
appreciate you
know
guys.
where I know Amy, Amy Davis, Keto Rockstar, was really wonderful. She made a Google Calendar somewhere. I don't know where to retrieve it from, but I know she made one for every time slot for all of our lives.
I wonder if she sent that to me after I had my coaching call with her, because she sent me some recipes and some other stuff. And I don't know if I may have been a little like confused, or if I tried looking at it on my phone, which is silly sometimes because it's it's such a small platform. But yeah, let me look again. Thank you for reminding me of that, because she did mention it when I had that call with her.
I'm unable to find your YouTube channel. I've been sitting here trying to search it up. Is it Faithful or Faith Fuel?
Faith Fuel, like food, but I use the word fuel for some reason.
Yeah.
And Footsteps.
Faith Fuel and Footsteps.
Mm-hmm. I follow Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Nelson and the gentleman who is running this podcast. Bob? No.
Yeah, that's me,
Don?
Bob. Yep.
Bob? Okay. I'm still trying to get all of you guys down. Rick, I got down. That was easy from the beginning. and Milton.
Channel.
Rick and Milton. You found
Yes.
it?
Yep, I found it. After there was a Faith Fuel, I don't know, it's like probably some kind of like a gospel type channel, but then right below it was yours. Faithful Footsteps, correct?
Well, Faithful is not me. It's Faith Fuel and Footsteps. And I think like there's a picture of me maybe in like a black, like leather like looking jacket.
Oh, maybe that's wrong.
Yeah, let's see here. If you let people see who you subscribe to. Do you remember how long ago you subscribed to me?
Today, I think.
Okay.
Yes, today, because you put it. Oops. Oh, Sakura, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I kicked my cat. I did not know she was behind me. Like today, because you put it in the chat thing during the podcast or whatever, and then I clicked on it and I was like, oh, I'm going to subscribe. So I did, and of course you said that you were going to have a live at like 8, I think. And right, yep. I always forget that's probably Eastern time. So that's why I joined so late, because I forgot. I'm like, oh my God, they're already going.
Yeah, I can't find you. Did you over on YouTube? If you can maybe make a comment in the chat, that would. I saw some people were saying hi, Desiree. Or wait, no, you're not Desiree, right? Yeah, you are Desiree. Oh, you just froze. Uh-oh. You might have left StreamYard to go look at the chat. Okay. We'll see if she comes back. Yeah. There we go. I see the comment, Faithful and Footsteps. So I can hit go to channel, and here it is. Okay. All right, I got the link. Okay, so here's Desiree's channel. Going into the chat right now. Desiree Chimiel. And there you go. Go over there and hit subscribe. And perhaps she'll be back. I think trying to switch windows got her disconnected. So.
I see. It's under her name, and then her handles Faith Fuel and Footsteps.
Yeah. And so probably eventually she'll get a custom URL, and it'll have that username on it. All right.
I just subbed to her channel.
Yep. Let's go click over there and sub to Desiree. She's got some ambitious YouTube goals here. So that's good. So, and like I said at the beginning, this is good practice. If you don't have a lot of camera experience, click the StreamYard link that we have pinned in the chat and join us on screen. And look how easy it was. She was able to participate and contribute a lot actually while she walked around the neighborhood. So, it's easy peasy. All right. We also want to thank Dr. Kiltz and Desiree and Papa Carnivore. They all popped on, and then we've got Jeff, Kelly, and Rick right here on the screen. I think that's everyone who we had up to 8 at one point. I think that was all of them.
We had someone else. Dina was her name. Was it her name? Dina Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Raw. Deanna Raw. Yeah.
Deanna Raw.
Yeah, she was on here too. So, okay, I think we lost you when you switched apps. But we found your channel and we posted it in the chat.
I was yapping with you guys the whole time. I was like, oh, look at all these comments.
Oh, she just froze.
Yeah.
She's doing the magic trick.
Yeah, you froze. You know what? If you're back home, I don't even know. If you're back home, maybe what's happening is your phone is trying to connect to your Wi-Fi router in your house.
Yes.
And you're not close enough to the Wi-Fi router, so that signal's weak. That might be what's going on. So you can shut off your Wi-Fi and connect it back to your 5G, or go inside closer to your router. So.
I just turned it off, so I might be back.
All right. Very good.
There.
Yep.
Yeah.
You seem to be in the clear now. Amy asks, and I have 9 starred questions from earlier. We'll get back to eventually. Did YouTube take away the 50 minimum sub to do lives? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think Amy had told me that, and I do remember it saying that. And so then I was brainstorming how I was going to figure out to get content on my page or to like how to get 50 people to subscribe. But again, I didn't have anything on my page. So I was like, I'm not going to tell people about it. But now I have stuff because, well, you probably didn't hear this. All of my content is like borrowed from Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Nelson. I didn't know if I could do that, but I was like, I got to put something out here, So
according to Microsoft Copilot, it says, yes, YouTube removed the 50 subscriber requirement for mobile live streaming.
Oh.
As of 2025, any verified channel can go live from a mobile device with at least 50 subscribers, while desktop streaming does not require any subscribers. So now those two sentences actually contradict each other.
I see a comment here from Dr. Nelson. He says, Faith, Fuel, and Footsteps, I was your number 30 subscriber.
Oh, oh my gosh. Right. Okay, how great.
All right. Very nice. Yeah, we also had another. Dr. Nelson was talking about who was live tomorrow morning.
I think their guest was Diane Ladd. Didn't she heal from MS, or she was MS and she went on Carnivore? And
somebody said she was in a wheelchair. That's crazy.
Yeah, Boston Carnivore, Diane Ladd, tomorrow at 6 a.m. says, great story. So I'm not familiar with the story, but from what you are all saying, that would make a great story for sure.
That's amazing. I also, I didn't realize Dr. Nelson was listening. So if he's still here, I'm going to say this. When I was looking for content to steal from you and Dr. Kiltz, I was looking for the specific recording. This gal that you interviewed, she's your friend. You kept saying she was your friend. And oh my gosh, of course, it is totally escaping me what her situation was. I want to say she had MS or something. She had like curly hair, and yeah, she's doing so much better. And apparently I think she had some lesions, maybe like on her brain, and she did Carnivore, and now those are all gone. I don't remember who that was, but I wanted to like put that video on my page as just a piece of inspiration.
That sounds like MS, brain lesions and stuff. Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Desiree, what part of Nebraska are you from?
So I was born and raised in Columbus, like I said, on a dairy farm, and I live in Lincoln now. For the last like 20, I graduated in 2000, and so I've been living in Lincoln for 26 years.
Because there is another, well, as of right now, he still lives there. I don't know if he either lives in Lincoln or Omaha, but there is another YouTuber named Semi-Retired Bob. He was a truck driver, and he has a tremendous story about how he healed Carnivore, and he has a channel out that he is preparing to move to Texas on a homestead somewhere southwest Texas. But as of right now, he still lives in Nebraska.
Bob's near Omaha, if I remember correctly.
Is it Omaha? I
Yeah.
couldn't remember if it was
Awesome.
Omaha or Lincoln.
I went on the Mighty app, and it says like, "Oh, connect to people that are close to you," and I clicked on that, and there was like 100 of them. So I was like, "What?" So I didn't know how to figure out like who's actually semi close to me. But one of these days we're going to figure it out, because within walking distance of my house is the Certified Piedmontese shop, and then they have a restaurant there. And I thought, oh my gosh, one of these days y'all are going to come to the Heartland and we're going to go for a meetup. So I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to continue to just figure out like how you guys do it and how you guys organize all of it. And then one of these days I'll have everybody come to Nebraska.
I'm figuring one up here in Missouri. I live in Missouri. I'm probably 30 miles. I'm like 2 hours from Kansas City, 2 hours from St. Louis. I'm in Mizzou country where I live, and I live about 30 miles north of Columbia, Missouri, and I live on a 25-acre farm. But my wheels were starting. Some of us was wanting in Missouri, wanting to do a meetup, and I was at church Easter Sunday, and our church, we don't meet at we have a church building, but we don't have a sanctuary, and so we meet up at a theater. Well, during Easter, we combined the service into one service to a at the auditorium, and I was greeting, and I was like, my wheels were turning. I'm like, here in Moberly, Missouri, we have several places we can do a meetup. We just don't have a restaurant. But I'm like, wait a minute. I have people that can do barbecue or smoke meats and stuff like that, and I can keep it on the carnivore style where, okay, you got to tone down, no sugar stuff. But I'm like, my wheels were turning that day, so I was like, I'm thinking about getting a Missouri meetup here going.
That's a great idea. What's your name?
My name is Kelly. My channel,
Kelly, okay.
YouTube channel, is the Missouri Carnivore.
Okay. So I'll try to find you. Say it one more time.
A Missouri Carnivore.
A Missouri. Okay. I'm not going to leave this app because I don't want to like lose you guys again, but okay, I'll try to find you. And then I think I saw Dr. Nelson ask for me to put my handle in the KMT. So yeah, I will do that as well. But great idea. My cousin, he used to barbecue for competitions. So gosh, I wouldn't even have to like necessarily have it at like the Certified Piedmontese restaurant. I could just have it over in the park where I was just walking. But it's Nebraska, so I don't know how close everybody is to Nebraska, but I don't know. I want to make it to one of these meetups. We've got to figure out which one.
Signing off, but he says tune in tomorrow, 6 a.m. for the MS full remission with Carnivore. So yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yep, that is good.
So fantastic.
That'd be good to watch. I have a friend with MS and deteriorating rapidly, and I'd like to. One of these people that I got like, hey, I really think this diet would help you, but I think because of that close association, they just kind of like just don't listen or take me seriously. But if I could maybe show them another video and another testimony, this apart from me, that would be very, very handy. Yep. All right, yeah, and then over in the Kilt's Mighty Tribe, post your link, like copy the link to your YouTube channel, post the link, make it easy for people to click over to it.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And then Tom, Target Prime Rib says, I guess no one sees my offer, so I give up. I didn't see it.
What was your offer?
Was that the offer to have Desiree on your channel? If that's the case, Target Prime Rib also has a channel, and he does interviews multiple times a week. So
I'm pretty sure I'm following him. He was one of the first ones.
Yeah.
Because I was going to join his live, but then my phone didn't tell me that there was a live going on, and I forgot all about it. And I was like, oh man, I wanted to join. That was a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I got to get better with this whole social media thing, trying to figure out how to communicate with you guys and really follow what's happening. And once I get that down, then things will be a little bit more smoothly for me. But yes, I would love to sit down and talk with Target Prime Rib sometime, or any of you guys, just to be more involved in the community.
All right. Very nice. All right, I'm going to go back and rewind here, catch up on some of these comments I starred, because some of these were really good. Cranky Carnivore Cutler says the arthritis in my knee, hips, elbows, and hands healed after 8 months on my carnivore diet.
Wish mine would. Mine got better, don't get me wrong, but I am far from healed. Too much damage.
Standing Foot had asked, is 1 stick of butter enough for a 120-pound man a day? If you can tolerate eating a stick of butter, enjoy. Bon appetit. Have at it.
If you don't don't have a problems going to the bathroom, then you're good to go.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that would be the only determining factor, is if you eat a stick of butter and you can't, it's too much fat in one sitting, and so you find yourself sitting on the toilet. That would, then you might want to scale it back or split that up across the day somehow, across multiple meals. Cranky makes the comment relative to our topic today: bizarre, humans cannot even digest fiber. And yeah, that's what I brought up earlier. Like in this article, they call it fiber as an essential nutrient, but it's not essential and it's not a nutrient. And yet that's constantly the way it's called. So,
hey Bob, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna go ahead and bow out.
Okay.
I got some things I got to take care of. So y'all have a great evening, and I'll follow up on it tomorrow and see what y'all about.
Okay.
So
all right,
y'all have a good evening. It was great talk. It was nice to meet you, Desiree.
Have a good night,
you too.
Jeff.
All right, very good. Deanna Raw, who was on screen a bit ago, the school lunch program is terrible. Kids are not getting enough protein or fat. How many kids do you know that are eating a 80-20 hamburger, fatty steaks, fatty fish versus eating fast food or vending machine food? So yeah, that's a very good point. I know my school lunches were terrible. My school lunches were terrible, and I didn't want it. I knew what it was doing to me. Jerry says, definitely stay in this community. We're here to support you. So yeah, that's towards Desiree here. And that's one thing that I've said before in the past is keep feeding your mind carnivore content. So if you got your favorite YouTube channels, your favorite doctors, like, for me, it was Dr. Barry, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Baker. And then I also liked like Nutrition with Judy. There's also some other Primal podcast. I can't remember that channel's name now because I did stop watching it.
Reno.
And I like Dr. Cywis. A lot of other people don't, but I do. Dr. Bart K. Can be an interesting character. Sometimes he can be a little vulgar. He's been trying to tone it
Dave
down
Mack
lately,
is a really good one to follow. He's got, and matter of fact, if you look in some of his community tab, he's want to share your story on his channel. So like I shared my story last August of last year, and he reached out to me. So I'm going to pick a time and I'm going to do a follow-up interview.
Yeah. Dave Mack is like the king of carnivore interviews.
And guess who he started with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The one and only Rick.
Right.
That's right. That was before Milton.
Before Milton. I can't decide if Milton's your friend or if he's your enemy. Sometimes I jump on here and the cat's attacking you. I don't know what's going on.
Funny? Does anybody else's cat act like that?
I used to have a cat that acted like that. So it was, it was sweet. And then sometimes it would hide in the shadows. And as I walked down the hallway, it would jump out and scratch me. That used to drive me nuts.
I don't have a cat. I just have a, come here, dude. Come on. I just have a goofy hound dog. Come here. Come on.
Well, I always liked having a cat because they can eat the same thing that I do. Problem is my cats get really big.
I wonder why.
Believe it or not,
they're eating a very nutritious diet.
He's already over 13 pounds.
Milton?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's a beast.
Now the question is,
he hides it well.
Now the question is, Rick, have you found Miss Kitty's kittens yet?
I was just looking a couple minutes ago. I saw her outside. I can't find them. She was begging for food again. She eats more than Milton.
All right. Diet originates from the Greek word diatia. That's funny. Why am I struggling with that? Diatia. I can read and translate Greek too, but I can't read it when it's transliterated. Meaning way of life, regimen, or dwelling. Therefore, the carnivore diet is my diet for life. Yeah. Diet. The original meaning for diet was your pattern of eating, your lifestyle. So only in modern times did it become to mean a temporary hack to try and lose some weight that you would eventually go get off of. So yeah, the true meaning of diet is a lifestyle. Jason 916 asks an interesting question. I almost made this a poll. Would you rather eat seed oil laden carnivore foods or high carb foods like sourdough, etc.? So that's a tough question. The answer is neither. But I would answer that. I know how I would answer that. How would you guys answer that?
I can't eat either one or I'll get sick.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard for me. I mean, I have done it before, but I notice a big difference when I have seed food laden carnivore food like eggs. I can tell a big difference in my eggs versus a restaurant that does seed oiled eggs.
Let's make this a poll. What do we got in here? We got 38 watching.
What about fruit?
Yeah. Are you guys? Yeah, we could include that in the high carb food, maybe. So anyway, all of you in the chat, listen up. We got a poll. We got a poll here. I just put it on the screen. Okay. So this is based on John's question. John's question here is: would you rather eat seed oil laden carnivore foods or clean high carb foods? So high carb foods without seed oils or carnivore foods that have seed oils in it. So if you'd rather eat the carnivore foods with seed oils, type 1 and press enter. If you'd rather eat the clean high carb foods that are devoid of seed oils, press 2 and press enter. Let's see if we can actually get anybody to vote on this poll today. So that's an interesting question. It's a hard question. Probably most people don't want to vote in it at all. But I would say I know what carbs do to my body, and I'm not happy with it. So I would probably say 1. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to type my 1.
I would do the seed oils.
Yeah, so I still can, so I would, and I don't think they're, well, he said seed oil laden. That means a lot. I would say, I think a little seed oil now and again is pretty benign, just like a little fruit now and again, I think it's pretty benign. So, but I can't eat, I'm not going to have a diet of clean high carb foods. I don't care if they're potatoes, apples, bananas. I'm gonna get fat. So I can still eat the carnivore foods with the seed oils and still maintain my weight. That's why I would vote number 1. So vote 1 or 2 just by pressing 1 enter or 2 enter to vote in our poll.
All right. The only way that I'm going to eat fruit is within season, and my strawberry beds out back has came back up. I thought they died because I didn't cover them up properly for the wintertime here, but they came up and they started sprouting, I will eat the strawberries from that. I will not go to the store and buy them, but I will eat like watermelon within season.
Mhm.
Watermelon. I can eat the
All right.
watermelon as long as it's got seeds in it.
Yes, I will not touch the seedless ones.
They're disgusting.
Let's see here. Da-da-da. I'm scrolling back up to see if I missed. I don't want to. I don't know if Thomas answered me. I don't want to miss it again. So, all right. Let's see here. Okay. He said he would come on, but he's not fully dressed and his hat is too far away. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Okay, we'll come back to this in a minute. My last starred comment was from Dr. Nelson. Buffalo Wild Wings has always cooked their wings in tallow, but it's a deodorized tallow that contains BHT. I don't think it contains canola or other seed oils. And I think that's accurate. So it is tallow.
The one over
but
here
it's
does.
not like the best of the best tallow.
The one over here does. It has canola.
Really? Oh, that's too
I
bad.
hit the dumpster. I should have saved the box. I'll go back and get the box next time.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. I was thinking maybe they use that for something else, but no. Then why would they? Just fry everything in the same oil.
Well, it says beef tallow blend. And canola oil is an ingredient. I'll have to look up the manufacturer. I bet I can find it here. Let me see. I think it was from Cisco. Let me see.
Well, Rick, while you're looking that up, I'm going to say goodnight and jump off for now. But thank you so much for having me and entertaining me and subscribing to my channel.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and
Yes.
we hope we were a source of encouragement. And hey, feel free to jump on back, next Monday. So,
Yeah.
And when you do,
I'll see you guys again.
You can always restream this to your channel. So then start adding the content to your library too. Okay.
Yes. See, okay. So stealing is okay.
Stealing
Grabbing from other people's channels.
Stealing
Awesome.
is permitted. I have it in my settings. Yes, people may steal. So
Very good. Very good. Well, thanks, guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you again very
nice
soon.
to meet you,
All right.
Desiree.
All right.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, Carnivore Cutler. Seed oil aggravates my arthritis symptoms. So not number one. Carbs cause me to have hyperinsulinemia. So not number two. I'll die if there's no other clean choice. Yeah, so clearly he did not vote in the poll.
I don't think Amy
Yeah,
voted
no,
either.
I said it was a tough one, So, but like if you force yourself into that either or scenario, if you were forced into that either or scenario, the number one, I think I'd be all right with now, because number two, let me hide this comment. Clean high carb foods. I don't know what that means. Like, if that means fruit. I mean, I have nothing against fruit, so that's fine. If that means donuts and cookies, I want nothing to do with donuts and cookies. So the option number two has to be kind of clarified, in my opinion. So, if it was fruit, maybe I'd lean more towards number two. But if it was donuts, number two is definitely out. Give me number one every day. So this is interesting. The local Buffalo Wild Wings uses tallow, described by Dr. Nelson, but their frying oil for everything else does contain seed oil. Interesting. So they have a separate fryer for like French fries and battered whatever, and then they got a tallow fryer just for the wings. That's interesting. Okay. So here's a good comment. So this is so there's a lot of food for thought here. Jerry makes a good comment. Seed oils stay in your body for years. Carbohydrates you can eventually poop out.
Mm-hmm.
So, but as far as I know, I don't personally experience any adverse effects from seed oils. So, whereas carbohydrates, you know, I'll wear them around my gut, especially if they're processed carbohydrates. Like fruit, I'm not going to get fat on fruit, but I will get fat on donuts. So
that's true. Fruitarians are skinny.
Yep. Yeah, no, you won't get fat on fruit. And although most fruitarians, they get skinny to the point of looking sickly. So,
well, just like me on the carnivore diet.
Yeah. No. I mean, sickly, like starvation, sickly. You know. No. Most fruitarians look like they don't eat anything right before they die, so they wither away. You're not withering away by any means.
That's true.
All right, very good. We are caught up on comments here, which is always nice to be caught up. Let me unstar that or unhide that. There we go. All right, so our poll's 50-50 right now. So all right, 6 votes. It's not important, so we can just hide it. It was just a fun way to get some response right away. All right. Okay, so any big plans coming up? What's your spring look like?
Spring, summer, fall, it's all the same.
It's all the same. Anything going on locally? So
not really.
I know Kelly sometimes has these mission trips. He has a pending surgery coming up in August.
Yeah, I got the surgery in August, and then May, just around the corner, end of May, around Memorial Day, go back to Juarez for another build.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do a pulled pork fundraiser. Unfortunately, I just get the pulled pork. The rest of it comes with duck food.
Right.
But yeah, we're doing a fundraiser, trying to finish raising the funds to that way it keeps our costs down, because if we don't, it goes from $350 a person to higher.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course I'm getting ready to probably make some videos with the other channel, because last week I felt like Rick a little bit here. I got the mower stuck last Thursday, and I didn't realize it was a soft spot. And I always went around this shed, and when I went around, all of a sudden the mower just went bloop, got stuck. So I'm like, great. So I had to go. I was like, I don't have the truck keys. I have to open up the second shop door. I'm like, I'll get the tractor out. I'll just pull it out with the tractor. It went doop, and it would not start. I'm like, oh, great. I was like, this is awesome. So I had to go back to get the car. I got the Subaru, and I'm like, well, maybe there's a hitch or something. And I'm like, I get a strap, and I'm like, I'll get over to the mower, and I'll look underneath, and I'm like, nope, not doing it. I'll go get the truck keys. Glad the truck started. Because it hadn't moved for 2 months. It stayed in the shop for 2 months, parked in the shop out of the weather, I'm glad it started up.
So you talked about, mowing and the ground being soft. So I don't know if you heard me at the beginning. I talked about the truck. I got my truck stuck in my uncle's yard. I got a picture of it here because I had to send the picture to a couple towing companies. I was trying to get to bail me out. So I had 6 pictures. This is just going to be one of them. But
this is why I own a Bobcat.
And here it is. Yeah. And so but again, this is like 50 yards from the street, and I took video of it, and I had a couple towing companies. They were like, "Yeah, we're not coming to get that. There's no getting that," because they were afraid that their trucks would sink too. But I did get this one company. They were able to. They came up halfway on the driveway, stayed on the driveway, and they had a sidewinder and a long cable. They connected the cable to a chain to get the length that they needed and chained it around my hitch, and then reeled me in real nice and slow. And it just dug that trough all the way through the yard. That trough didn't get there till I got to this point in the backyard, and all of a sudden I just sank, like quicksand. But I was doing okay up until this point. But then when they drug the truck back out, it just carved notches right through the entire yard. So that was terrible. Too wet for mowing, too wet for driving your truck through yards. Should have known, but I should have known better. No one to blame but myself. So.
Get an
Oh yeah, I
ATV.
forgot I'm going to also Keto Palooza in October. Amy commented and says you better get better by Keto Palooza. And I'm like, I will be, because that was one of the questions I asked. I said, how soon can I drive after I have this surgery? And they said, well, I said, I'm planning on going to Keto Palooza in October. Well, I'll be able to drive by then. They said, as long as you're not on no pain medicine, like I'm going to have it, but I'm going to try not to take it much as possible, because it's like, I want to try to keep that stuff out of my system. It'll be a very last resort. And the last person I knew that had hip replacement surgery, someone I go to church with, brother in Christ, good friend, he had hip replacement surgery. He said it didn't even hurt. He said the third day it was my muscles that were sore, not even my hip. And he's a type 2 diabetic, and he eats a standard duck food diet.
Well, you'll do better.
See, Keto Palooza is in Kentucky, October 8th through 10th. Early bird registration and is sold out, and then they got general registration. So how many days is it? Oh, it's 3 days, 8, 9, and 10.
3 days.
Okay.
Yeah, I will be ready, and I will be healed up. I may have a cane with me, walking with a cane, but I'll be ready.
Yeah. All right. So we got Keto Palooza here. All right. 2026. See if I can make that a little bigger. There we go. Presented by Keto Chow. Speakers. So the Berries will be there. Maria Emmerich, Kim Howerton, Courtney Luna.
Maria Anorexic.
Well, that's true.
I mean, you're talking about people that look sickly. That's worse than me.
Right. Yeah. No, she's pretty thin for sure.
At least I can pick up an engine block.
Okay. So is that all the bigger it is?
I don't know. This is like the first time I'm going. Like I've already got my hotel already there, and I have for me, I have a vacation voucher that every 5 years the company gives us, and I had $5,000, and I'm like,
wow,
hey, this is where we're going. I've got my ticket bought. Can you get me in this? Here's the group rate, which he couldn't be able to do the group rate because it was already sold up, but I got the room for the same price as the group rate.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you got tickets for that are $239. And then you got to get your hotel stay, which is going to be, where to go? Come on. There we go. Hotel is $160 a night. So you got a couple $100 a night, at least 2 nights. So 400, maybe 6 if you stay 3. And then you got your entry ticket of $239. So I was just curious.
I got mine half the price, or cheaper than that.
Yeah. Well, they had the early bird one was a cheaper ticket. They had the early bird was $189.
Yeah, so that's what I paid for.
Yeah, interesting.
$239 now.
I was just curious. I want to go to more things like this, but I'm already going to go to Hack Your Health in November, and I gotta, I already gotta have to probably get plane tickets, rent a car, and a hotel for that. So that'll be one big expense in November. So I can't add another one in October. So not back to back like that. So.
Yeah, that was my one big expense. I think either I'm going to try to shoot for either 2027 or 2028, either Hack Your Health or Hack Your Health maybe next year, and then 2028 Meat Stock. Or actually, I'll probably wait till 2029 for Meat Stock because my daughter graduates in 2028. Probably not a good idea to go if they graduate about that time.
Yeah. All right. Does anybody know Annabelle from Australia?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know the story here. If anybody does, she's asking for prayers. Isabella says, here in the north, if I was to eat seasonal vegetables and fruits, I would have to fast for 8 months a year.
That's right.
All right. Yeah, so July I'll have my cherries, and August I'll have my apples. That's what I got in my backyard. Not a lot. Like the worms and the deer get to most of them. I'm only able to scrounge a few.
Mangoes and bananas.
That's what you grow there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got avocados too, but I'm allergic to them. They make me sick.
Oh, this must be what we're talking about. Labral tear. So
she had, I think she had one or two of those. She said she had, that she had. It said it was worse than hip replacement.
Oh, I'll be at Hack Your Health too. I'd much rather go to Keto Palooza. So, like with Hack Your Health, it's just like I think it was a glitch too. They were offering tickets like dirt cheap, but I think it was intended for people who had went this last year to go again next year. It was supposed to be just for them, but it was publicly available. So I just went to the page and there was the discounted tickets, and I just bought a couple at the discounted rate. But I think it was meant for people to come back. I don't think it was meant for new people. So, all right.
And okay. I get to meet the man that actually that got me into this keto carnivore era about 5 years ago when I started keto, the Dr. Barry. One video that I woke up to saying, I remember waking up, I woke up and it's like, who in the world is this quack and what is he selling? And it ended up being a real doctor that gave real advice. And then over time, the video that got me started the next day was if he said it is
I'll be back.
If you are watching this video tonight, why you want to wait till Monday? Start tomorrow. If you're watching this video this morning, start today on this journey. And that's what I did. I went hardcore, intermittent fasting, 2 meals a day. But unfortunately, I went the keto way instead of the carnivore way, not knowing what nuts and seeds and almonds and spinach was and how bad it affected my body. Now I know. And if I knew what I know now, then I would probably have been more carnivore then.
And imagine there's only one person I know of that does 3 meals a day on the carnivore diet. But then again, I come from a different place. I wanted to gain weight. I wanted to get big and get a heart attack. Boy, did I fail at that.
Yeah, I grew up watching my mom go through all these diet fads, the slim fast, a boiled egg or egg and grapefruit diet. My dad even did that. Calorie restriction, Weight Watchers. I mean, I did Weight Watchers 10 years ago. Yeah, I lost some weight, but then it got boring and I went right back and gained all the weight back. And like, this is the first time that I ever kept my weight where it's at, not gain it all back.
When I was a kid, we used to have the Popular Science and Mechanics magazines. They had all these ways to gain weight, put on muscle. I used to have to drink this nasty weight gainer shake. It was disgusting, but it didn't work. So I figured a heart attack diet would do it, and I still failed. All that fatty meat, I just couldn't gain weight. I still can't.
Well, it's a nice problem to have.
Well, you know what they tell me? Wait till you get to 50. You're going to gain a ton of weight. Like, I already passed that 7 years ago.
Mhm.
You got a metabolism that works really well.
You know, it's weird for someone my age. I have more energy than the young guys, and I don't complain, and I can eat a lot of food. They look at my heart attack burger like, you going to eat that? Sure. No problem. Oh, you can't eat all that. Want to bet? Now my cat Milton is like me. He eats a ton of food. Come here, Milton. Look at this big old heavy Milton. Look at this thing.
Let's zoom in on the Milton here. There we go. Hold on. There he is. There's the kitty.
He's so cute.
Get the full Milton effect. There we are.
I do love my
And he
little...
likes it. He likes the limelight.
Yeah.
He likes the limelight.
Then he gets rambunctious. Look at that tail. He's a black menace.
The Black Menace. So yeah, Rock and Amy here. Where was that? Going late tonight. Well, no, we scheduled till 10:30. You know, so that's 5 minutes away. And but yeah, we'll get going until we'll keep going until it feels like we're unnecessarily dragging things out. Then we know we got to call it. So the first time I heard him, wait, that's not the comment. We'll come back to that one. There it is. I thought Dr. Barry was nuts the first time I heard him too. So I can relate to this. So when I first came across Dr. Barry, I was decided to do Atkins again, or keto. You know, to me, Atkins, low carb, keto, it's all synonymous. It all means the same thing. And so I wanted to lose some weight, and I started doing the cooking at the house, and I wanted to try and come up with recipes that the wife and kids would find appealing, you know, because, you know, they're being forced to eat what I eat, and I'm trying to help them too with their health too. So I, you know, instead of getting out the Dr. Atkins New Diet Revolution book, I was like, well, this is the modern age. I'm going to get on YouTube and look for recipes on YouTube. So I started typing up keto recipes. And then Dr. Barry's keto videos started showing up. They weren't recipes, but they were just informational videos on how to do keto properly, because he started off as a keto doctor. And then after some time, I'd turn on the TV, open up YouTube, and then, you know, Dr. Barry videos would be in my recommendations in my feed, and it would be videos about eating a carnivore diet. And he had one that was, I was wrong about vegetables. He talked about how unnecessary vegetables were, and that's when I was like, huh? Because again, you know, you were always taught you got to eat your fruits and vegetables. And I was like, I watch these videos, and I'm like, you know, like, he makes sense. And you know, I'd already come to respect this guy. I didn't think he was a nutter, but come on, don't you have to eat vegetables at all? You can live without vegetables? That doesn't even sound right.
Yeah, but
I kept watching. Yeah.
What did they tell you would happen if you didn't eat your fruits and vegetables?
Oh, I don't remember. I just remember being told you had to.
Yeah, but did they nobody told you, like, well, if you don't eat them, what's going to happen? That's what I used to ask. Well, what's going to happen if I don't eat fruits and vegetables? Well, you're not going to grow big, and you'll probably get a heart attack.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I started watching these videos, and I'm like, okay, like, you know, I'm not sure about this, but, you know, I didn't think he was a nutter. I like this guy. What he's saying makes sense. And I'm looking at the, you know, the data. I'm looking at the studies and everything, you know, because I'm researching it. I'm kind of a bookworm. And then, but I still couldn't I was entertaining it, but I couldn't bring myself to do it until I broke my ankle, ended up in the hospital. And then I was like, I can't exercise anymore. I might as well try this carnivore diet thing. And then I did. And the results I got was tenfold what I was getting on keto. It was amazing. So it was amazing. All
Yeah,
right,
the very first video that I watched of Dr. Barry, and that's the one I woke up to, was 7 ways to boost your testosterone naturally for free. And every time I see a doctor like Dr. Grundy, he'll go this long spew of infomercial, and that's what I was expecting. I'm like, who is this quack, and what is he advertising to sell some kind of supplement? And come to find out, as it goes, he started naming what to do. Void this, take vitamin D3, zinc, and then he said avoid eating out of anything plastic or drinking out of anything plastic. And I'm like, whoa, this is a doctor's giving free advice. And I'm like, wow. So I stayed up probably another like 2 hours just watching nothing but Dr. Barry's videos.
Yeah. No, I like Dr. Barry's good content. So, and like I said, if anything, he's my strongest influence. I consider myself a doctor. I consider myself a student of Dr. Barry. I am not a doctor. Disclaimer: we're not doctors. Dr. Barry is my biggest influence. So
I might be the only one that never really cared about Dr. Barry and his videos. I don't know why. It didn't really impress me in any way.
Well, so he didn't introduce you to anything that changed your life, whereas that's kind of the role he plays in mine. The information I learned from him changed my life course. So that's why I hold him in that kind of higher regard. So he's just also dudes and chicks. He is just a dude. So I don't overly glorify the guy. But to use his phrase, doctors are just dudes and chicks like the rest of us. So.
And the other thing too is when you're talking about somebody you think is crazy and you think is a quack, you got one right here. I think I scare people.
Maybe I might scare people too. So, that could be. So we all can't get along with everybody. Sandy says, found out about me through Rick. Yes, Rick is one of the good guys. He's on here tonight. He's been on here and he's restreamed a couple times, and that's how you watched his channel and was like, well, who's that carnivore? What's this carnivore talk thing in the corner?
And I announce everybody's channels in my live.
Yeah. And we return the favor. So if for some reason you don't know who Rick is, which is probably, what do we got in here right now? We're down to 32. You all probably know who Rick is, but Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. till much longer than I live stream. You can be on. He's on for the entire morning at a minimum. You can come and go and listen to Rick. And Rick's more like good talk radio. He's not confined to a carnivore subject. Not that we're confined to carnivore subjects here. We talk about a couple other things here, but he's got a wide spectrum of topics he likes to talk about every Saturday. All right. Let's see here. I like Dr. Barry and Nisha. His wife is keto carnivore. Yep, that's right. Keto carnivore, which there's nothing wrong with that. Let's see here. I don't think anything Dr. Gundry sells works. I don't know too much about him, but you're right. Everything he does sounds like an infomercial. But
he wants you to buy his book.
Yeah. Well, the first videos I saw from him, he was talking about lectins in tomatoes. How lectins were really bad. He really didn't talk about the other toxins and the other plants, but lectins were the bad guys. Gave you leaky gut, and I gave you all these problems, and I don't know. I just didn't take him seriously at first, and I still don't often. I usually skip past the Dr. Gundry video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see here. But a lot of people, Dr. Gundry was their stepping stone into the world of carnivore too, into the world of plant toxins and stuff. So, who is it? Oh, she's an animal-based girl.
Sally Norton.
No, she's animal based. She was carnivore. Now she's animal based.
Lily Kane.
Lily Kane, that's it. Lily Kane. Young girl that's always
ditzy
dances
one.
around in the grocery stores. She
gal.
said that she was a big Dr. Gundry follower. That kind of introduced her to these different dietary lifestyles. That was so Dr. Gundry was like a stepping stone for her. She's admitted that in some videos. So, but yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was Lily Kane.
I think it's amazing that people know who I am.
Well, you've been on several carnivore channels, so you're not a stranger by any means. You've been interviewed. You show up as guests on some of these more informal channels. So, and you're like Papa Carnivore. You're in the chats too. Like you find a carnivore doing a live stream somewhere. You'll see you in the chat making a comment. So you're very prolific finding your way around in the community.
Good for shock value.
That comes later.
Yeah.
Later. That's when you start scaring people.
They're curious about the guillotine.
right.
Parking lot chicken.
Found Bob and Russ through Rick.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see here.
This is what I say.
Rick reads every chat comment. That is true. Yeah, Rick. Yeah.
This is what I say. Most of us go to fast food to get burger patties. Rick chases his fast food.
Yeah, and you can see it in some of my videos too.
Yeah, and on Saturday he does read every comment. So I'll get behind, and I'll start skipping them because a lot of it is just small talk. And but the reason I get behind though is because like tonight we had 8 people on the screen at one time, and everybody's talking, and so the chat's getting ignored. So I can't go back and just read every. By the time I get back to the chat, there's 200 comments have gone by. If I actually went through all of those, we'll be here till 2 a.m.
And just think, I'm the only one that does this without StreamYard.
Right. Yeah. Just direct YouTube. So. Yeah. Well, and the only reason I use StreamYard because that's what makes it possible to have multiple guests on the screen at one time. So because your show is solo, and I haven't seen you have the phone hookup lately.
Oh, it was used a couple days ago.
Okay, that's the one Saturday I didn't check in at all.
Jerry called in and had a contest.
Okay, yeah, I missed this last Saturday. I had an event that happened to be coinciding that morning. I had to attend, so this was the first Saturday that I wasn't able to pop in and at least say hi for a while.
But it's always active, I can pick this up. You probably hear the dial tone now.
So
we got an old 50s style setup here.
Yeah, you gotta know the number though. It's gotta be pinned.
The number never changes.
Yeah. Well, if I don't see it pinned in the chat, then I don't know what I don't have it memorized or written down or anything. So. But that's
what
also
I like about
you
it.
mentioned 50 setup. That's what I said. He's kind of like more like a talk radio. That's exactly the talk radio does the phone ins. It's exactly what it sounds like.
When Rick has to step away or he fixes his breakfast or lunch, I like he puts those classic old pictures or ads up. I always was intrigued by looking at a lot of that old stuff.
Well, that's it. It's all part of the theme. Mine is unique. You got to admit, out of all the live streams, there is nothing like the Rick live stream.
For instance, you talk about ethanol gas.
And I talk about poop gas. I talk about seed oil fuel and wood gas and all kinds of stuff. I even talked about artificial intelligence.
All right. Very good. Well, we are at 10:38, and I think I'm ready to say goodnight. All right. Kelly, let's see here. There's a couple comments coming in now. Yeah. Me and the prices back in the day on his newspapers. Yeah.
And Jim at Juju says, Kelly, oh, I need a good laugh because I usually do some dad jokes. I'll say one before we sign off.
Yeah.
I stayed up all night trying to figure out where the sun was. Then it dawned on me.
All right. So everybody, yeah. All right. So yeah, Godspeed, Cranky Carnivore, Sandy Blythe. Good night. Good night to Isabella Goyer and to everyone else in the chat. We appreciate you having you here and participating and making your great comments and asking good questions. We're glad that what a privilege to have Dr. Kiltz and Dr. Nelson pop in and contribute as well. And it's a privilege to have even someone as scary as Rick come join us here, and Kelly. So everybody who joined us on screen tonight, we appreciate it. So it means a lot, makes Mondays fun, and we look forward to having more fun with you on next Monday. So thank you again. We're going to sign off. If you guys want to stick around and talk for a bit, that's fine. But good night. We love you all. See you later.
Night.
Night.